Hello, hello. Welcome to the Crypto Kingdom. We are here today. I believe it's Friday, and we have a phenomenal day. Let me see how this music is going. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's loud. We have this song, Pump It Up. Guys, listen. All right, we are here with what is going on with, we have got some exciting market news right now, some exciting volatility going on between Harmony One, particularly with Dogecoin. Guys, we're going to cover it because it is phenomenal. Let me turn this music down. What do we have? This tune, so you guys know we have the copyright for it. Pump It Up by Savoy, okay? You guys enjoyed that. Pump it up. All right, so we are in the market, okay? This is the Crypto Kingdom. We focus on technical, okay? Technical analytics, and we have a great group. We're here every single day looking at pricing targets, etc. We had a great show last night where we talked about Dogecoin, we talked about Harmony One, we talked about a lot of different things. We talked about how to enter, if you wanted to enter into the Dogecoin, kind of the extraordinary pricing action that you're seeing on Dogecoin right now, how to make sure that you're not overexposing yourself. It's very critical when you're looking at something that is receiving an incredible trajectory, an incredible amount of velocity, like Dogecoin, that you are, which is currently, let's look at the price, it's 37 cents, a little over 37, was just previous, right when I started the feed, the stream was right at 40 cents. So up about 180%. So it's gone again. It has decided to run. Now, as we look at exposure levels, as we look at risk, we will look at the other indices, the market. Harmony One is an example right now. XRP is an example right now. Bitcoin is even an example right now. Making an example is Dogecoin, also along with Theta, which is receiving some degree of a positive price action. But we are looking at literally the market driving into Dogecoin right now and driving into Theta. There may be some additional concerns, financial concerns that are garnering some attention, but that market capitalization is pouring into Dogecoin right now. So that is something we want to keep an eye on, as it could accelerate your kind of your downward price action in concerns like a Harmony One, or let's say you may be in VET or CRO or BTC or BNB or XLM or XRP. Now, the good thing is to always have your downside already covered. Always have your buy orders in place. Never operate out of a position of kind of an unprepared, kind of a hype event, something that you can't control and you haven't planned for. We never want to see that occur. We never want to see you overexposed in your specific we'll say in your specific portfolio. So as we look at the, this is just pertinent right now to the price action. As we were just watching this morning, we decided to go live because essentially we were looking at the chart on, essentially everything started to light up just red, just drastic red. We saw a price acceleration in the chart we were working on, Harmony One, and we focus all day long on Harmony One. That's what we do here at this channel. As we saw that begin to accelerate to the downside, we started looking over to Dogecoin, which has been, guys, it has been absorbing, all right, the market capitalization, kind of this phenomenon recently here. We had gone over last night in depth how to try and enter something, and guys, for us it doesn't really matter. This has a name on it. This has a price action to it. It has a story behind it. From a technical standpoint, we look at it as a phenomenal event. It's something that is going to continue to kind of jump out here. After our discussion last night, we did, just to let you know, we are not pushing Dogecoin whatsoever, but we did enter into a small, reasonable position around here, and we have experienced this degree of a gain. So that is just what we decided to do in line with exactly. And now, not taking anything away from Harmony One. It hasn't changed our plan at all with Harmony One. So we have made a 54% increase in the last number of hours here. I'd say within the last, let's do a differential, let's do a cross analysis on this. And these are not my gains. I'll tell you guys, this is the community's gains. This is the overall market's gains. This is a phenomenal event that's occurring. So up 58, it looks like 50.8, excuse me, 50.8. And I do want to get that timing down. At the left of your trading view, now this is just trading view that we're currently looking at. And we're able to use this program very well. I have a background as a financial analyst. I've worked with and across from Harvard, let's say Harvard is some mouthful, but Harvard Foundation in terms of investment, building investment packages and trusts. putting together just large financial deals. Out of Duke University, decided to go and build financial packages and kind of work on big scale investments, investment banking, things of that nature. Hedge fund, good things like that. Just private hedge fund, good things, and that's what we enjoy doing. It's what I enjoy doing, is bringing that information to you in a positive way that you can understand and kind of frame the issues and frame your own strategies as a result of kind of what we're looking at. So the title is very much like Dogecoin. I want people to understand this is a phenomenal event, and if you are heavily involved in Harmony One or heavily involved in XRP or heavily involved in whatever your coin of choice is, our coin of choice, the price action we like, is on Harmony One. It's consistent, it's stable, we can predict it. We have enjoyed it very much. We've enjoyed the 20x return, and it's interesting as Dogecoin continues to do well. We enjoy kind of the shared history of Harmony One and Dogecoin both being interrupted by exchanges. Harmony One was interrupted by Binance during its peak. I believe Dogecoin in and around February was interrupted by Robinhood. Okay, so clearly we have kind of a shared background and history that the two coins have put together. And yeah, that is okay. That's not an awful thing. That is a sign of how hot things have been. That's a sign of how how they're just incredible investments. Now we are seeing Dogecoin back off. It's an excellent example for us to look at a change in market. Okay, a change in market behavior, kind of a radical change, and what that really means to us. Now, as these figures drop off on the right-hand side, the phenomenon that we are experiencing, and I'm glad you guys have tuned in. This is the type of information and the market strategy that we want to be able to bring you. What I would state is, these are going through a degree of a change. Okay, some of them are more pronounced. If you look at XRP, for instance, it is going through a more pronounced change. That's an individual asset that we brought to you about what was it, at about 80 cents. It went to about $1.80 after that. People realized fantastic gains. That is shedding about 13%. XLM is down about 9%. One is down about 8%. Now I'll say if it's down about 8%, let's look at that figure exactly, because I'd like to really compute that and see what TradingView is looking at. That's just the intraday channel, guys. So that may look real severe. I'll tell you, that's just kind of the intraday channel that Harmony One and some of these others may be in. They're kind of oscillating. Okay, they're kind of achieving their range. So it sounds drastic. It looks like a total bleed off of the market, but really it's still within its range. Okay, so it seems like that while it's in its range on the downside, it seems very well programmed. Dogecoin has gone through the roof. So what we don't want to necessarily see is an outright market phenomenon. Okay, we don't want to see a market phenomenon where, due to the incredible nature of the price action in Dogecoin and kind of this what is it, fear of missed opportunities, this FOMO. We don't want to see a situation where it starts to break the technicals, and we'll just state that. If we get into a position where it looks like we are breaking the technicals, and I'm talking about a real bleed into, and guys, this is the strategy that we use, and you can get into this on the upside in terms of on Dogecoin. Let's look at the fact that it appears that we still have kind of a steady march going on with Dogecoin. As long as these steps continue, I would say there's fundamentals being built in, and it should preserve, okay, I'll say it should preserve the price action of these other assets. That's very important, okay? Because as we look at, say you have a position in Harmony One, or you have a position in Bitcoin even, or you have a position in Binance coins, whatever your favorite coins are. Particularly as we've studied Harmony One, we love the price action. It's been very predictable, and it has been for you guys in terms of whatever investment you've likely decided to place your money into. That level of predictability, that projected gain, something you can count on, because investing is a difficult world. When you have found kind of your baby, when you have found your niche, and you just love the gains you're getting from something, whether it's holding or whether it's through trading, you understand kind of that dynamic and kind of what a treasure it is to find your own investment, which you guys hold on to. And we want to help you guys protect that interest if we can at all. Not giving you financial advice. I'm just former very successful financial industry kind of specialist and professional, so you guys can take that for what that's worth. As we look at what we don't want to see happen, what could be a danger to anybody in any class, and I'll say as well, it really presents a potential danger. Let's start with Dogecoin. If we start to see a parabolic action, just uncontrollable all right, to the upside. And I'm talking about uncontrollable, okay, where we're looking at something that has literally within a period of hours gained so much velocity that we are literally within a period of 2 or 3 hours that we have gone up into, and now I please pay attention to this, that we have gone up into over $1, over $2, that we have gone up into something that is, beyond the capacities of the market to stomach. And as I'll just say, beyond a price target, $1, let's say as we get into a $2, or as we get into these higher levels, what is going to occur, okay, is that it is going to create a big cavity, all right, in here. And not just as a direct price and exchange, this and that, kind of the market maker doing his work in between the buyers and sellers. It will create kind of a gulch. It will create kind of a void in the overall markets that will essentially, not just cause a problem, but it will literally erase opportunities to gain on the downside, okay? You need to understand that it can erase opportunities to gain on the downside. Your individual buying levels, your purchase, your purchase strategy. And I want to cover this morning because a lot of people have a purchase strategy on a retracement, etc. They'll say, well, if it gets down to such and such, you sophisticated investors, you say, maybe we play Dogecoin just a bit, but we're going to experience some of the upside, pepper in a little bit at the high levels, nothing extreme, but just kind of pepper in at the high levels, kind of see if we can enjoy the price action. Nothing to overexpose ourselves. But when people start to do that, people who on the aggregate overall they have a good deal of money, that adds up very quickly. And when they start to shift assets from what their other holdings are due to the incredible performing nature of it, and it becomes a phenomenon, kind of a cycle that feeds on itself. When that starts to whirl a little bit, we can see things kicking up. If it becomes more centralized and it turns into kind of like a tornado that just wants to rip into the fabric of the market, that is when you have a large disrupting, I'll say a disruptive event, okay, which can leave a void. And I'll say it'll leave a void, and you'll know the void because where it decides to go up to, you will see, and if that is the level there, you will see that void, and that void will come hammering down. So it will create a lot of problems in the market, even for those individuals who have decided to quote unquote hold with diamond hands. You will see a big problem. And this will be exacerbated on your other financial assets, on your other financial concerns. And when I talk about that, I'm looking for that break in the action. Right now, I'm not panicked at all in terms of my other holdings, not at all. It's just not, it's not at that point. It's still a consistent kind of staircase. It's something that we can predictively look at. I believe it's still going to, provide. You have to look, this is a great example. Harmony One was 20x, okay? It was 20 times your money. So in terms of looking at Harmony One, it has not collapsed, Harmony One. It has not even thrown us out of any kind of a pattern whatsoever. In fact, during the upshoot of Dogecoin, Harmony One has established kind of a sideways consolidation pattern. So this is a phenomenally kind of stable instrument that I would look at right now, while Dogecoin is presenting you potentially unmatched levels of volatility. So, and this is maybe a great ride for people if they have all their all their belongings packed and ready to go in the moon launch. That is fantastic. The more acceleration that you see, and again, the velocity of this is just the change in vertical price. Okay, the change in vertical price along the way up, measured by that expiration or the duration of time. So the velocity is higher. That essentially there's more velocity the greater the vertical change in price over a specified period of time, particularly in a shorter period of time. So it goes up more in a shorter period of time. It's a long story short, but I want you guys to understand velocity, okay, the velocity of the price action. When you get into a high velocity event like this, it can collapse the overall market. And I can bring up an example this morning to look back in 2018. 2018, we had a scenario, and please just pay attention for your own educational purposes, okay? In 2018, we had a scenario. This is not to instill any fear at all, okay? What I'm seeing right now, again, what I am seeing seems to be very planned. It seems to be very organized. It seems to be very orderly, in spite of the fact that it seems to be, I mean, gaining in value tremendously. Okay, but while it's gaining in value tremendously, do understand, this is, let's look at the gain in value tremendously, and the question is going to be for everyone. It's going to be for everybody. Well, at what point do we really need this huge velocity event to the upside, or at what point are we kind of, maybe already there down here? Now that's going to be a question for the ages, guys. That's going to be your own tolerance and the market tolerance, kind of how the big movers want to move this market. But that's the real fundamental question. It becomes more of a potential downside given this specific kind of price action, the less that I'm able to see any kind of a consolidation. So this consolidation also represents an opportunity potentially for you to get involved, I'll say, in anything that represents these types of returns, but only at a light level. I'm going to say at a light kind of peppered in level, because even at this kind of scheduled up, I'd say this, it clearly kind of a scheduled accumulation, a patterned kind of inflow of capital into Dogecoin. Okay, even at this patterned accumulation and the stair step kind of, a nice acceleration to the upside, small retracement, massive acceleration to the upside, small retracement. Even as that continues to occur, we can experience, and we should expect to experience at some point, even amidst the structuring of it, we would expect to start to experience some degree of a retracement. Now, as long as we get that retracement, I would say, as long as that retracement does occur on each of these individualized steps, and they continue to represent or to give us this nice patterned behavior, to me, that is telling me that at least it's going to give you guys the opportunity who haven't been involved to get involved at a kind of a measured level on it. Now, again, not at a heavy level. Now, we never overpay for anything. And let's check back in. Now, this is our go-to baby here. You guys are going to get to know Harmony One if you get to know this channel. We bring you accurate pricing targets. Now, you guys are up 40, 50% in Dogecoin. That's great. That's phenomenal. We were up, 50% on this one, 30 to 50% right here on 7th of April. So we liked that. Another 50%, bam, right here on the 20th of March, 30%, 30%. We're very into trading, Harmony One. You have found a channel full of people into technical analysis and enjoying price targets, which we deliver you. We deliver those price targets, and we enjoy targeting this. And I'm telling you guys, we get this down to literally the penny, and not the tenth of a penny or the hundredth of a penny. Literally put our limit orders in, the market maker comes and gets our orders, and we see, bam, great results all the time. So we are accustomed to these high velocity events on the channel. That is what we specialize in. It's no fun if you can't get yourself a great price, let him go out, shop at the market, and have somebody get into the market who otherwise might not have gotten into it, who gets to experience this journey with us. We enjoy that very much. The dynamics with the exchange, with the market makers, kind of all of that kind of bleeds through into the good stories that we've decided to invest in also. I understand that, the management team with Harmony One, phenomenal. I mean, Harvard Business School, Wharton PhDs, Stanford, you guys throw the book at them. They'll be able to tell you what it's about. With Dogecoin, I know you guys have a lot of an extraordinary community, and you just have a lot of interest that has not waned, and that's to be, I'll tell you guys, that's to be commended, I would say, because you're just, you might be a good example for the overall community, aside from what we think about your coin, aside from what everyone's going to have a criticism of something else, always. But you guys have stuck together in Dogecoin. We have to give it to Dogecoin crowd. And now I'm not in the Dogecoin crowd, so you guys know that they have stuck together. So what that tells us is that there may be some value in that continuity that we can all look at, and I think that's phenomenal. We enjoy bringing you those pricing targets. If you guys enjoy technical details and terminology and learning from a kind of an industry specialist, an industry professional. You guys know it's not financial advice, because I wouldn't let you guys hire me for the world, for anything. Okay, for anything. I'm not in that position where I have to be hired out for anything. So I'm not going to get into that. But irrespective, if you enjoy that, I'm going to invite you guys, while we're waiting for that price action, to go ahead and go to Twitter and type in The Kingdom. This is the Crypto Kingdom. Type in The Kingdom and go to the bottom of the search menu. Okay, that's your search menu. And then you'll have to select Go to The Kingdom, all right? After you type that in the search menu. After you type in The Kingdom, you're going to get to a Twitter page? I guess not a web page, but a Twitter page. The Crypto Kingdom, that's us. go ahead, click on follow, and we will be able to bring you updates, live updates in terms of our pricing targets. We also have a Discord where you can ask specific questions to me. And that's not of a charge or anything like that. That's just us being of service to the community, the overall crypto community, and we're having a good time doing it. We're seeing a lot of people make a lot of money, particularly with our pricing targets. So if you guys have paid attention, we like to double our money every 10, 15 days. It would be nice for us. So that's the pricing action we've had that we're used to. Even in the down cycle here with the retracement, kind of the jet is stalled on the tarmac for a minute. No problem. We caught this next key indicator here, this next key, this pricing target was delivered for days in advance at a heavy level of investment, and people made great money there. People made great money at this second opportunity here. That's what we do, and it's consistent price action on Harmony 1. It definitely follows these Fibonacci's, and we are into Fibonacci's, including on, say, an accumulation basis. On an accumulation basis that we would look at for Dogecoin. So as it continues to go up in Dogecoin, what we would say, let's look at the prior interval. Let's look at this prior interval and say, everyone wants to buy in. Now you can throw your hands up and say, fine, I'm going to go ahead, and if I don't hold already, I'm going to buy into this. Let's go ahead and let's open up the coffers a little bit here. Let's go ahead and buy into this. Now if you look at kind of the price action from yesterday to today, you're pushing on 200%. So that's a good enough gain. People might say, I love the story, or I don't like the story, or people may say, I don't even want to know this story. I want to get in on a price action of 200%. Beautiful volume in and around here. It looks like it's being well conducted in terms of people being able to kind of achieve a price dynamic that you may have missed out on somewhere else. Maybe people are trying to, enter into a little bit of a kind of a recovery phase, however they want to. And we never blame anybody for that. If you're excited about a recovery phase, that's a real good thing. A lot of people are already sitting, I'll tell you, in instruments where it's a 20x or it's a 10x for them. Some people at 50x. So, they may look at this situation, they probably already know how to play it. They've probably already played their hand. If they haven't played their hand, and you guys, let's say, for instance, you haven't played a hand at all in the acquisition of, say, like Dogecoin or anything else along the upside, and you're looking for a pricing target, well, how can you get a pricing target on something that just keeps going up? Is it even worth looking at? Well, I would argue that it is. In between, let's say this recent high that you just achieved, which was 38, it looked like for a second on the candles that it was breaching into that area of 40, and it did, guys. It got up to about 45. Okay, so it got up to 45 this morning. That's a big push. Now, what is it back to? Let's look at this. It's back to, so from the point of inception. Now, I did not sell this. It had already been about up 78%. I could have capitalized on that. It was a rush period where we could have sold out in this area. We were watching on the other screen. That's fine. Within the last several hours, 78%. We received that kind of price action in a lot of different concerns. Not this consistently. It's a market phenomenon. We're discussing this because it's going to go down in history as in terms of the crypto market, as a huge market interrupter. It is stepping up. The Doge has stepped up and has become kind of just a ferocious animal right now in terms of its ability to disrupt the market. Now, looking at this price action, this represents exactly why you want to have a strategy. And guys, this is a good lesson for everyone who is watching. Let's watch this price action. Let's look at this. You can say, and if we draw this out to candles, I normally don't. If you watch the channel, I normally do not draw to pricing, or let's say to the retracement lines. I normally don't do that when we are in, there we go. When we are in a any kind of a retracement pattern, but I will do it. Okay, I'll do it if and only if we get into a circumstance where we are kind of accelerating beyond the means of what can be defined by the standardized chart, the line chart. Okay, and right now, not by much, but it is giving us more of that that dynamic upside. In fact, we're losing about, looks like about 50% of the price action if we don't include the candle. So in terms of an exit strategy or an entry point, I want you guys to understand this would be an instance where I would say, yes, we need to go ahead, and on the Fibonacci's, we need to include the candles, okay, the full entirety of the candle action. Let's just leave it there. I won't get into the specificity, excuse me, of kind of candlestick theory, etc. We can go over that at some point in the future. So that will dictate. But let's look at this. Let's move this Fibonacci over. Now, the Fibonacci is really easy, guys. You understand that. It's just a tool that you use. It is part of the framework that the exchange gives us, okay? This is exchange technology. This is not our calculations. We haven't decided to apply it, as opposed to what the real answer should be. It's not a contrived, kind of approach at all. No, the Fibonacci's are a standard of the industry. This is what the experts and professionals use in terms of their acquisitions. So as we look at this, let's draw this, this trend line. We're going to establish the trend at the bottom left, the beginning of the Fibonacci. If you guys are wondering, it's just, go to the pitchfork, look under and scroll down, click on the little right arrow in Trading View. Now this is a premium edition. I have the premium edition of Trading View. But go down to the Fibonacci, you'll go to Fibonacci retracement, Fib retracement, very easy. And you'll draw a line, okay? Now based upon the trend, I'll tell you guys, it will give you an idea based upon anything that you draw, but I would recommend that you draw it accurately. Learn how to draw them accurately and learn under which time frame you're in and how it's going to adjust your overall picture and the information that you're going to be looking at. So we're at kind of a condensed time frame here into the 30-minute chart. That's fine, 30 minutes. Let's count the interval. If we draw the trend line from the bottom, okay, the recent kind of low, or the point of, I'd say the point of liftoff, if we want to say the point of the trajectory begins, the trend begins. We draw it up into the top, okay, kind of the peak of what was reached. Now we want to kind of maximize our understanding of the pricing action here, and it did get up to 44.9. Okay, that's a hefty jaunt from the 24. Okay, so that's almost a double. Okay, on the money, almost a double on the money, very close in a short period of time. Look, it was more. It looks like it was more than what the market could sustain. Okay, so that's at least about an 80% change. It was more than what the market could sustain right then. The market makers kind of pulled back and said, "Whoa, this is a bit much." So when they pull back, that is the point in time in which we would start to look at, once we have an event like this, we would start to look at, well, if I haven't gotten involved at all on a concern like this, because it may just be, well, I listen to Crypto Kingdom, it seems boring. He never wants to get involved in anything that's going up. Standard protocol is you are absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. If it is in a red zone on a Fibonacci, I don't have any money for it at all. Why? Well, because I know it's going to retrace. Not just typically retrace into kind of the first pale green zone. No, it's going to retrace, typically into kind of this more solid green zone, right? And as it retraces, I might have a little bit of money up here, maybe $100, maybe that's 1,000 or 100,000, okay? But I'm going to be able to put this in right here in case it decides, and I'm going to pepper that in, just maybe $100, just pepper that in up top, okay? As I lay out an acquisition strategy, and now I will draw and determine this based upon the high. I'm going to determine this as the high event, and I'm going to immediately calculate these levels. I'm going to determine what my limit orders are and prepare those immediately at these different buy-in levels. Let's say if it goes to 48, I would prepare them at probably the 40, at the 37.4, at the 36, at the what is that, 32, and at the 30. I'm looking for a bargain. I'm looking for a bargain entry into Dogecoin or whatever the principal asset is that seems to be exhibiting a lot of positive price dynamic. Why? Because I want to maximize, okay, I want to maximize my gains. How am I going to do that? I'm going to do that by achieving a better price. Okay, and I'm going to follow, even in the rush, in the heat of the rush, I'm going to follow market principles. That is supply and demand. Okay, what is that? What the higher prices, okay, at an extreme price, I'm not going to have any demand. Once the price comes on down a little bit, it's still a very high price. Well, I'm not going to have much demand, but yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of demand. Now, as the price becomes more reasonable and works down through these tiers, Well, as it becomes cheaper relative to this overall interval, well, that's the point at which I'm going to have much more demand at a cheaper price. And that's going to assume, guys, this is kind of a risky approach. And I'm going to say it's not as risky because when I look at it, it doesn't represent much risk to me because in the overall aggregate, okay, in the aggregate as looking at this, I will apply kind of this sub-framework to this individual pricing action to put in maybe 100 at this level. And I'll framework out and quickly do my limit order. I will, and under the example, under the strategy, okay, this is just a strategy, okay? I'm telling you what it takes to realize in the midst of all of this how to maximize an acquisition at a lower price level, okay? That is the goal, is to get in at a lower price level. We don't want to be one of these cats who got in at 45 cents. Some people just got in at 45 cents. Okay, well, you understand. Those cats sometimes wind up holding a bag, and it's not good. If we can get in at 30 cents, yeah, we sure don't want to get in at 45 cents. Okay, now that's the difference between that's the difference between a nice vacation, guys, depending on what level you're investing at. It may be a few nice vacations. So that's 55%. Okay, so you're looking at a 55% difference in your entry price. Yeah, I'm going to say, you'd rather make that 55%. I guarantee you would rather make that 55%. And if you're willing to work strategies and to work a profit maximization model, if you're willing to get into the details here and start to present yourself with kind of, we call it a double down or a triple down heavyweight approach to acquisitions or to accumulation. Okay, we're lowering our cost basis because we have more amount of funds available at the lower levels. That means we invest more as in this individual price frequency, as in this price frequency event, as it continues to retrace, or if it does retrace to whatever extent, as it drops, we are able to accumulate more. And I mean, we invest more money, double or triple down, and thus we are getting a bigger volume as well, okay, of the coin, which is phenomenal because at that point, understand at that point, if we have more volume at a lower cost basis, every additional escalation in the price, is going to do what? Every unit of price escalation is going to represent in terms of a kind of I would say an appreciable gain in respect to, or vis-a-vis, or in respect to any other levels of accumulation that you have represented, because you will have essentially more blocks, okay, to work with. And every unit of appreciation, I'm talking about every cent that this goes up, it's going to cover any higher level of investments that you have made. So this tiered down approach works very well. It's going to lower your cost basis. It's also going to slow you down. And the market needs to get slowed down a little bit in terms of these price actions so that we don't fall into a circumstance where people, and I'll just tell you, at some point in the overall aggregate, and I'll explain why this approach doesn't frighten me as much, okay? And again, at the higher levels in here, the first kind of Fibonacci level, I'm willing to pepper in, okay? And I like that. Just if you're at dinner, just imagine pepper in something on the salt, etc. Yeah, just kind of pepper in and along the top, no problem. This level is getting a little more reasonable. I kind of doubled down. If it was $100, I'll probably double down. Now understand, some people are throwing in $5,000. Some people are throwing in $10,000. They want to throw in the whole value of the ranch practically right in here at the top. That's where it becomes reasonable for me, because I'm looking at the overall price action. Let's say if I've determined support to be in and around 7. Let's just start with this example, and please pay attention. This is the type of strategy that can really add some value to at least your understanding that maybe you have some good good thinking going on. Let's talk about how we can dig into this. Now, the good thing about my strategy is even on the aggregate, okay? Even on the aggregate, let's say if I apply this whole notion to the recent levels of support, and now this is where this gets to be a good strategy, okay? As we're looking at buying in on a really hot commodity, something that's skyrocketing, and this will be a good lesson for us to look at in the future for everybody. I think it'll apply to almost everybody in Dogecoin or otherwise, even if you're looking at accumulating more. Everyone wants to get in on the kind of the market dynamic that's going to go down in history. We understand that, but not to pull away from what you already have. I'll say it's not going to disrupt already your other holdings. You guys love your other holdings. We love, for instance, Harmony One. We love the story on Theta. We love Crow is about to break out. BNB has a phenomenal future. A lot of the Bitcoin is very strong. So this is zero about I'm not going to deleverage myself through this process. Let me just say that I don't want to deleverage myself, because then I'm not diversifying. Okay, then I'm not diversifying. I'm not spreading my risk out. I may be dealing with entering into a single class, kind of a single class portfolio with a hugely increased amount of risk. Okay, and that's not what we want to look at. What we do want to look at is, and let's go through the rest of this example so you understand on the macro as we pull out the Fibonacci levels. And again, these are just calculated, guys. These are calculated by literally the program. Okay, this is TradingView. People don't tell you all the time what they're using. This is TradingView. I have the premium package. So, and you may or you may not. If you don't, just go ahead and subscribe, and that's no problem. And we're happy to bring you the analysis of it. Again, that's my background, guys. That's what I have done since, out of college, straight out of Duke. I decided I'm going to go be a financial analyst and work on billion-dollar deals and getting money from Harvard investment, foundation, etc. Having a lot of fun doing that. And they demand excellence. I'll tell you that. Harvard does not like to deal with you. And we had a lot of success. We did very well. So our numbers are good enough for them. Our approach is good enough for them. Now, in terms of this, we look at the overall aggregate. Let's not talk about this individual accumulation schedule. Let's not discuss that. Let's talk about the aggregate right now. Let's throw this Fibonacci on the overall whole here and say, if this is our floor price, we expect only, okay, if anything, there to be a drop in value down into this level, which works out to be about, let's say about 15 cents. Let's say maybe about 14 to 15 cents. That's kind of the new floor. We're going to say, given this original price action, etc. Now, this is going to vary a little bit on, if you want to see this off candle, I can show it to you off candle. We can go on the lines. It's going to make more sense on the lines. This dances along just fine. It dances along enough. So, as we look at the price action, I want to tell you guys, this top level, what do we have? I told you on the micro level, we have zero. I don't have any money on this level. It's too risky. The opportunity for, or the likelihood of a retrace is going to be just too much. It's not going to even arouse my appetite for an investment whatsoever. It's just too risky. Okay, you see, it's immediately a fallback. The odds of fallback from this zone are extraordinarily high. And what happens? Well, at this next level, at an extreme price, I don't have any demand. Well, it falls into, now it's just kind of expensive. It's kind of costly. I might pepper in some money in here. I might pepper in $100. Now, as I follow through this, in this zone, I might pepper in, I don't know, maybe 200. I'm going to double that, maybe 200. On the next one, I'm probably going to triple that again, okay? Or double or triple that again. Double the entire amount, probably triple the previous amount. And that will work, that function will work in terms of my acquisition levels, my ability to acquire. Now, whether or not I'm acquiring right now and putting those orders in right now, that's not the question. It's my financial ability to acquire at these lower levels, okay, that makes this a winning strategy, okay? If I'm able to acquire at these lower levels at a double or triple down approach, okay, I'm going to cover anything on the upside that's already been invested, guys. So that means I have to have underneath, if it's $100, I probably have to have in the neighborhood of, let's say, it's going to double to 200, the whole thing double to 600, whole thing double to 1800. Okay, so then 1800 then to 5400. Now the 5400 may be 5.4 million. Okay, it may be a hefty amount of money. You may add zeros onto this $100 up top. That's your scenario. As are the specific, the strategy is given to you so that you understand a dynamic of essentially insurance on the downside and not buying high. We do not want to achieve a high cost basis, okay? So force this thing to come down. If we do even look at it in the aggregate, look at this. It goes to the point up top. It does achieve this zone, all right? So, yeah, we do have a little bit of action going, all right? It's not it's not an extreme amount of action, but I like that. Again, it's kind of reached my level where, yeah, I'm willing to kind of pepper in a little bit of money here. You see? So and this is carried in through as I look at the specific dynamic, okay, and I say, okay, fine, let's get into this now. If it's reached my overall zone, yes, okay, that's kind of a target price area. I'm willing to look at that. Now I can go in, and I want you guys just to say, we'll do this for an example. If I do zoom in and I take it out of that aggregate and I go into, and I'll still keep this about in line here. If I can specify this exactly, it'll help bring the example to you. Let's see what we have. Okay, had to zoom in there for a minute, just get close to the screen. And see, we're already in this kind of a level in here. Okay, so I'm going to transfer over probably this whole 100 into this entire price action. Okay, that's going to be representative of, I'm not looking at necessarily, essentially what I'm looking at or looking for is some degree of a ratio of the amount invested. If I can reach back down into here, it looks like we barely do. So that's going to be a double down, okay, essentially, that's brought over. This whole area in here, okay, anything in here that is achieved. I tell you, that's going to be probably that first $100 level, and that's going to be split up in this first level. Do you guys see that? I'm going to carry over this amount into the zones that it's able to achieve in this price action. Thereafter, I'm going to, and I'll divvy that up by the proportions that I choose, and you can choose them as well. All this does is assure that, guys, you're heavier weight on your investment decisions at lower price levels. You understand? It sounds like a bunch of verbiage and talk. Understand, all I'm saying is we are more interested in acquiring something at a higher level in terms of capital input, okay, at a lower price. We follow, okay, we have more demand at a lower price, and we use that in our strategy, okay? We demand of ourselves that we use that in our own strategy. Otherwise, guys, we could already be down 40% today. All right, and we can redo that again. But if we're just going to pull the trigger on something, that's not something that's going to protect anybody. That's not going to be a wise decision just to pull the trigger. Well, it's really high. Jump into the hype. No, we're already. That's in more than 27%, over 30%. I want to say. I'd have to get out the magnifying glass and the scalpel to really look at that. We could already be down 30%. Okay. Instead, we just pepper in lightly on the top levels. Okay, that's fine. It's gone through some retracement. We expected that. Anytime we see anything, guys, anytime we see anything, I say with a tail on it, okay? That's my example because people don't understand how to invest. What do I do? How am I supposed to manage things? I don't know when to buy. Everyone has this story. I always buy in at the wrong times. Right when I buy it, it goes down. All right, look, what we do is this. It's very simple. I want you guys to understand this example. What we do is we kind of it's very simple. You could explain this to a kid. You can understand it yourself, I promise. These are called legs. Typically, it's called a leg, okay? Leg to the upside. Now, what our goal is here is, typically we'll make kind of an example, okay, out of what this represents, and the arrow is the front of what we call a dog, okay? We say, because you do have legs, so that's a leg to the upside, okay? That's standard of the industry kind of terminology. And we will state here, we'll say, well, this is kind of the front of the dog right here. This arrow is the front of the dog, all right? We don't buy anything with a tail on it, okay? And that is our standard. That is our MO. That is exactly what we adhere to, man. It's got a tail on it, man. Look at that. That dog don't hunt. That's not going to work. It's got a tail on it. We ain't going to do it. Now, within that, that's typically our standard approach. I'll tell you that. If there's positive, and I'll say a few things, and please understand this terminology. There is an approach that you can say, well, it's not just a bull run, it's kind of a bull rampage. It's kind of a, Dogecoin's going through something, strongly enough here that it's a bull rampage. That's going to adjust our willingness to become involved on something in kind of an immediate basis. We may decide to get involved at kind of the lower cash levels when it decides to retrace a bit. That is something that's, there's nothing wrong with that, and that does make sense. Some people may be scurrying off right now to do some calculations and get things together. So that's okay, but make sure you do your calculations. I would say at this level too, guys, make sure you consult a financial analyst. And you may not want to hear that from someone on YouTube, but I'm an industry specialist for years. So I'll just state, in terms of that, I would consult a broker or a financial analyst, someone that that's prepared to give you specific answers to your concerns, because these are the situations that can work out badly. And I bring up the kind of the difference, guys, between a bull run. Everyone talks about a bull run. Absolutely. Everyone loves a bull run. That's fine. If it maintains a structured dynamic to it, and it's something people can count on, that may be okay, all right? That's something we could look at. Now, if it turns into, on the upside, please pay attention, if it turns into what we call like a bull rampage, okay? If this thing turns into an absolute bull rampage and there's a stampede out of the overall broader market into this asset, and I mean to the point it could literally, and I'll tell you guys, a bull run can make everybody some money. That's a good, healthy event. Everyone wants to be in on a bull run. In terms of like a bull rampage, I'll just tell you, the force and power of like a bull rampage can literally take the house down. Okay, and I'm talking about structurally, literally a house. Okay, if you get into bulls that are literally in an uncontrollable pattern, this makes sense. But you have to understand, a rampage is going to be something that has literally a vertical trajectory, literally that's just gone uncontrollable for the market. And those are the situations that you want to really hone in on. You really want to pay attention if you get into kind of a rampage. And the analogy is very appropriate, okay? It's very appropriate because you understand, like a real bull rampage, a bull run is fine. Yeah, let's go run with the bulls in Pamplona. Okay, I've lived in Spain. I love Spain. That's fine. Let's go do that. That sounds like fun, right? We'll make some money in the market, no problem. Now, if you get into a rampage, if you get into a bull rampage, those can take the house down. And that has a few different applications. First of all, people start playing with the amounts of money that can literally take their house down, that can literally change their life negatively. Okay, and it creates the pricing dynamic here where literally you can expect, after a phenomenal, say, increase in price, you can expect some sort of a house down event. Okay, and that's the kind of situation and circumstance you want to be very careful of, because there are no prizes. I promise you, there are no prizes at all in this game, ever, for having a big amount and having a screenshot on paper of you at, and I don't care if it's at, it could be at $2.50. Okay, you could have 600,000 coins of anything at $2.50 and you bought in at 3 cents. There's no award for having a screenshot of your balance. There's just not. And that would be my biggest kind of words of wisdom to you, is you're not going to get an award for remembering how much money you had in your account. All right. Instead, those screenshots get passed around sometimes. Sometimes they get passed around, and I'm not trying to create any kind of a fear or a sentiment. I'm just telling you guys, if we get into a rampage event, it's different than a bull run. All right. I don't see that right now. With that said, your strategy can turn your own trading example or your own trading decisions into kind of a rampage mode. I would not get into a rampage mode, please, because that again can take a house down. And it can take the market down. It can take not just this individual investment, not just Dogecoin, not just Harmony One. What I'm going to talk about real quickly, and I may lose some people. Okay, I hope I don't lose some people. Please pay attention. We need to look at what happened in 2018. Please pay attention to this. Please pay attention. If you're concerned about your portfolios and the market dynamics, you have got to pay attention to what happened in 2018 with Ripple. Okay, in 2018, and this is one of the most phenomenal indicators and stories you can look at of a bull rampage. All right, this coincides perfectly. If you look at, guys, take a look or jot a note down at the convergence, divergence of market capitalization on coin market cap. You will see literally as this stair step goes in on Ripple. Okay, Ripple was the dog in the hunt that took down Bitcoin and took down the whole market. Okay, you will see this stair step, and there is not another one. Ethereum was doing well, okay, but Ripple was the one who started stepping up into this market at the right time. And literally, if you do the diagnostics on it and look at that stair step in terms of its market capitalization, this was the instrument that literally went and just it killed the market, guys. It was on the paper in terms of its appreciation and value. It killed the market. Now look at what that rampage did, and just this is just history. This is what history teaches us. Okay, you had all of this appreciation in price, guys. I mean, you went from, what was it, 15 cents, or you went from, let's say 30 cents, from 30 cents to what is this, to $3. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Now, what is that? Is that a 10x? I think it's like a 10x. All right. The problem is it's got a huge market cap, all right? For this dynamic, for this to recreate, guys, it look at the diagnostics on it, and when you look at it, you're going to see the timing. You'll be like, yeah, London's right. London's right. I am right, or else I wouldn't be telling you guys about that. Look at Ripple. Now, what has Ripple done? Well, Ripple recently has kind of reared its head. I have been encouraging people to take a look at it because of the 2018 story it represents, which is a dramatic shift. And now there were a lot of dramatic shifts going on, but none like Ripple. Okay, none like the story in 2018 of Ripple that literally it stepped up to Bitcoin and literally just knocked it out. It knocked out the market, guys. Look, you'll see you will see in 2018 when you look at the convergence of market dominance for Bitcoin, and that means how much does Bitcoin have in market capitalization? Okay, overall invested in Bitcoin versus the other instruments. This or the other assets. This was the instrument that walked up and literally just knocked out Bitcoin and the market. So that's an example of a rampage, okay? Now, you don't get any credit. You don't get any bonus points. We're not going to get, no one gets a special commendation at all for having a screenshot of their market holdings in and around, $3.30 with Ripple. And look at what it did. We know what it did, okay? Wham. And I bring up Ripple because it's the one that stepped up to Bitcoin in terms of market capitalization. The timing was impeccable, guys. The timing was perfectly on. So there's a reason I'm talking about it. It's also down today. That's okay. That's okay. But what we're seeing is a different dynamic, much like Ripple. We are seeing the potential dynamic. And let's look at what did occur, because it looks like on the whole, let's see the overall, what's the on the whole here? It went up 1,392%. Okay, it jumped up 1,392%. Okay, it went from a level of about, what is that? It looks like 22%. What is this? 22, doesn't want to give me the exact number. Yeah, about 23 up into about, and we'll do the exact figures. I can get in with a magnifying glass. That's the rough. The 1,000 was at 200, etc. What that did was, and really even before here, if you want to call that the first step into it, we can do that level at about, and now you're looking at, here you go, 6,881% within that preceding kind of time zone, okay, so or that time duration. Within the specific, and I'm talking about a number of like period of days, guys, this thing went in, and I'll just say, let's time this out, within 35 days, it decided within 35 days to go up for 1,400%, in addition to how it already had kind of reared its head up. And it was brutal. Look at the timing. I promise you, you will agree and be like, wow, I didn't know Ripple was like that. Yeah, Ripple was like that. Now, I brought this up because this had the potential to do that this year. It's a top market cap player. If it starts to become a hot commodity and everyone wants to launch their investment capital into specifically say Ripple, I brought this up in and around 80 cents. I said, hey, this has a history of really taking off and the timing is kind of concerning. So in the context of that, in the context of this kind of being the dagger in the side of the overall market in Bitcoin in 2018, I want to bring up that I discussed this and I said this was a kind of a heavyweight investment given the prior function or the prior history of Ripple. Okay, and I brought it up at 80 cents, I think, in a video. Within the next 2 days, it was $1.80. So you guys added on. You more than doubled your money from that on that one move. That was nice. We bring you that type of information. So if you guys are interested in that, in these diagnostics, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and guys, we have a good time. Also, go to Twitter. I'm going to bring this up again. Go to Twitter. Type in The Kingdom. This is us. We're going to be giving away. Also, we have a huge giveaway. I got to bring this up. I think tomorrow we have a giveaway. What is it? 2,000 Harmony One coins. Okay, that is awesome, guys. We're looking at Harmony One to go up to $1. So we're looking at 2,000 Harmony One coins. You guys join us up on Twitter. You'll type that into the search box, and then you'll have to click all the way, scroll down on the menu to Go to the Kingdom. Click on Go to the Kingdom. It'll pull us up, and you'll have to search for and put Go to the Kingdom. And then you'll see us. Go ahead and click on Follow. You'll see former finance professional, I should say, and former presidential advisor. So that would be me. Yeah, finance professional. So you guys will have an end to that. And we have a lot of good people showing up, about 20, 30 people every day. It's fantastic to have you guys. Welcome. I see a lot of Sheebs coming in, a lot of Harmony One guys coming in. We will say shout outs to everybody in due course. It's just nice to get a good group of you. Danielle, welcome. Shout out to you. Carlos Gonzalez, shout out. Rodrigo Celes, shout out. Corey Smith, shout out. Elbridge, Clancy, all you guys, shout out. Lucas, Dean Guy, Carolina, Vieira, Elias, John. Hey guys, you guys are doing great. All of you, you're just doing great. It's wonderful to have you here. And I just hope that you guys are willing to, explore, well, if you would like 2,000 Harmony One, go ahead and join the Discord too. We have a great back channel for information like, getting the hot kind of items and the hot analysis on. As we check it back in with kind of the normal flavor of things, see, things are still relatively holding well. I'm going to say that. They're not even outside of the projected kind of real pattern here. Things are still holding up. I'm looking at Harmony One, which this has been a 20x for a lot of people. A lot of people interested in the price actions, really dynamic. We brought you the exact price target of this recent. That's what we do. We specify a price target. Okay, bam, a price target and 30%. Price target back up in here, 30%. Price target right here, 10%, 10%. So we're very into the detailed analytics as the Fibonacci's can bring us. And we just enjoy trading on Harmony One. It's a lot of fun, guys. I got to tell you, you guys must be, whether you're a doctor or a lawyer, whatever you're involved in, it must be, or a sophisticated professional, you must be interested in the market. So that's nice to have you here. Let's continue this discussion about Ripple. Okay, let's apply that over right now to what we're seeing in Dogecoin. Okay, because you understand this thing stepped up to, and guys, on the timing, literally, it is a staircase. I am telling you, it is a staircase of Ripple deciding to literally knock on that door. And this didn't happen with anything else in 2018. It knocks on that door. Okay, and it knocks on that door. And as it knocks on this door, Ripple is just aggressive. And guys, it's a very good technology. It has a good spread to the marketplace. And as it knocks on this door and knocks on this door, guys, it just literally knocks the whole thing out. You will look at the timing on it. You will be like, good gosh, yeah, this is the one that took down the 2018 market. You probably won't hear many people discuss things like that, okay? But it's you have to do the analytics on it. That's just my background. That's what I do. So as we saw this start to knock on the door, I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. It's starting to knock on the door. We get up into this zone, we may have to, close this place down. It's really banging on the door again. Now, it has fallen off today a little bit, okay? What has taken the place? Well, we have another dog that is knocking on the door. I think everyone knows that. We have a dog that is knocking on the door in the form of Dogecoin. So let's see if we can get, that's a wild looking chart. Look at all this stuff. Let's see if we can get put this dog in some sort of light that it doesn't necessarily just look like, but see, you're starting to see what occurred, and there's just a huge market capitalization shift going on right now. This is why this is historical. Okay, this is historical. You just saw that from the from XRP, from Ripple. Now this same phenomenon is going on right now with Dogecoin. And Dogecoin is a top 10 market cap, guys. It can make a dent in the market. So it looks like, I'll say this, it looks like they're controlling it, all right? But this, just like the Ripple thing we just saw, I'm going to tell you guys, this was not expected. No one was expecting this per se, and everyone wanted Dogecoin to go to $1. Hey, everyone wanted that, particularly people who had large holdings in Dogecoin. But phenomenal, that's great. They may not have been expecting when this thing comes knocking on the door and starts to really attract attention. They're already saying, well, it's already a top 10 market cap. What's that going to do? Well, I mean, if it's knocking on the door of, you can say this, if it's knocking on the door of ADA, maybe that's one thing, of Cardano, maybe that's one thing, right? If it's knocking on the door of like a Polkadot or a Uniswap, maybe that's one thing, right? If it's knocking on the door of Binance, right? Binance, the largest exchange in cryptocurrency, in the cryptocurrency investment space. If it's knocking on that door and going to take over the market cap of Binance, whoa, I'm going to tell you, it's going to start knocking on the door of Ethereum. Yeah, and then when it starts on knocking on the door of Ethereum, it's going to start knocking on the door of Bitcoin. You see, and all of this red that you see to the right, okay, now Theta I'll tell you, it's really interesting because Theta has a real world application right now. It's in the green. There's some other ones that are in the green today. Okay, that's phenomenal. We like a real world application. It seems like Theta is going to be used in the real world. It's already being used on video. It's got a contract with Google, etc. It's got a great story. A lot are already being used. We got great news from Harmony One. I just check in this. I want to make sure it's stable. It's still stable. We like that. That's our baby over here. We like to trade on Harmony One, so I got to check in on the charts. Back to Dogecoin. As this starts knocking on the door of Uniswap, of Polkadot, of Ethereum, of all these bigger market cap coins, the top 10 market cap coins, as it starts to just eclipse them and add on 50% to its own market cap per day, okay, guys, when it starts to knock on the door of Bitcoin, that's when things can kind of get out of line. All right. Now, the good news is this year may be different. I believe it's different. Okay. I believe it's different because we now have an institutionalized, kind of an institutional level of interest. We have JP Morgan. All right. We have your Morgan Stanleys. We have some, different investment banks that are now going to be offering coins, Bitcoin, etc., to their clients. So that's phenomenal. That's very good. But I tell you, depending upon the power of the people approach, okay, depending on the power of the people approach, we're going to have to look at exactly whether or not this is going to be something that's sustainable, sustainable by the overall market. And if this continues the upward trajectory, just remind yourself, okay, please remind yourself that we went over this, and I want to talk about just that bull rampage again, but do understand this was the XRP was the thorn in the side. This knocked at the door and it knocked the market down, guys. It is a top 10 concern now. People were concerned about whether or not it would do that again. It seems like right now, based upon the data, that it seems like Dogecoin is the one that is doing that right now. Just it's starting to knock on the door. So if it busts that door down, you want to be prepared. And I say that because you'll kind of understand the nature of things what was it, some 30 odd days that that XRP went through that. Let's look real briefly at that so we can understand the market dynamics of 2018 and be able to hopefully apply them to the current day situation. Let's understand this pricing action and what this really constituted of. Let's get into the dynamic here to here. It looks like if we're going to specify it, how long did this take? Okay, and depending on where we're at, 21 days. Okay. So 21 days, looks like you're capping out 21 to 28 days. Okay, that may have a lot of implications for your Dogecoin. If Dogecoin could keep up its current trajectory for 3 weeks, guys, it's already kind of been at it for a number of weeks. If it could keep this up for a period of 2 to 3 weeks, now give me this, for those of you who may not have tuned out, you will agree at this point, if it continues this trajectory, think about this, guys. If it continues the current trajectory for 2 or 3 weeks, and you're glad that you stayed in here right now, when we look at that kind of that over extrapolated analysis, that differential analysis, yeah, if we continue this for 2 or 3 weeks, everyone's like, it actually could take down the market. Yeah, it could cause a big problem. So now we're looking at a couple days. We're looking at maybe the last week built in, but really this trajectory has started within the last, I'd say, 24, 48 hours heavy. If it continued this for 2 to 3 weeks like Ripple did, now you understand what Ripple did? Yeah, Ripple was the guy. There were a few go-to guys. That was the key one that was just stair-stepping in and kind of wanting to break that door down. And it did. On the timing, I don't think anyone can doubt that. That the timing is right there. It's right. It's staring at you. So that's essentially what we're looking at. We're off the major, I'd say the major investment concerns that have been real hot. There's some that still may be up. I want to go ahead and look into the chat, and let me check in with Twitter real quickly again. I'd like to post, if I could, something to the Discord. If someone could post, any of the moderators, if you could post up, Red Raiders in the house. What's up, Mod? He's one of our moderators here. We appreciate him being here. And if he could post kind of let's see, maybe a link to the Discord, because guys, that's where we have the kind of the backdoor discussions, and we're able to discuss not insider information. I don't like insider information, so we don't charge for anything. We do not do that. That's not what we're involved in. But we like to discuss principles of technical analysis, financial principles. That's just kind of our background. That's what we are involved in. Since Duke, and what was that, a long time ago, graduated economics degree, got into investment, kind of banking, etc. And there's Red Redder saying, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, you guys, just so we know that you're here and you're involved in these investments. You're not like an Autobot. If you would like to receive additional updates like this and receive some information from a financial I'd say just a specialist, a professional for many years, just let me know that. That would help the YouTube algorithm also get this out to more people. And up 200%. It's up 190%. Dogecoin. I'm going to just pull that up. It's at 38 cents. Okay, it's trying to reverse. From a pullback. I say from a slight retracement. It's something we're looking at. I am involved in it. Okay, and now I've been involved in it for a while. I'm just going to tell you that I have been involved in it for a while. It's not something that I'm involved in like I want to push it. It's not something that I hang my hat on at the end of the day. And I've been in and out of it, as I said. I've had a different flavor and feel of it. I decided to pepper in a little bit, particularly because I saw this breakout this morning. If you guys would like to see the strategy approach that I took on Dogecoin that resulted in, potentially what was the move to the upside when we first measured this? Well, I'm right in here. That resulted in 50%. If you guys would like to see that, click the thumb up. If you would like to see the dynamic, the trading pattern that I did, click the thumbs up right now in the like button, and I will give that to you guys so that you can see how I was able to make 50% today, and again, at the right price, at the right time, exactly. Just nailed it. So if you'd like to see that, hit the thumbs up. Let's look into it. We saw what was essentially just a bull pennant, and it was very simple. Very, very simple. Let me get back to, we don't need that. Let's get into the bull pennant that we saw this morning and exactly the price that we went ahead and pulled the trigger. And guys, I'm precise down to the minute, the second. I mean, I'm up. You want to know how it feels to go ahead and just kind of pull the trigger at the right time. Well, I'm the guy that's going to stay up. I'm going to make sure we get it done. I've got the alerts zinging and everything going on in the right way. So that's just what we do. It requires a lot of attention, especially if you're going to trade a pattern like this. And I always caution people, it is not necessarily good for your schedule or your family life. For guys, the women in your life may not appreciate it very much, but they'll appreciate the other stuff that comes along with it. So, Do what you do, however it is you do what you do. Let's talk about this. Now, we formed a bull pennant, okay, early on, and that was something that we looked at and said, yes, this is what we want to do. It's an immediate, and this is fun for us because it's an immediate kind of technical chart that we can look at and say, yeah, we can trade that. I can definitely trade that. That's an easy meal. We're gonna have an easy meal here. This is not even complicated, right? Not at all. This is a zero complication event whatsoever in terms of technical analysis and a quick 50%. All right. If your trading is complicated right now and you're not doing well in your trading, I recommend that you subscribe with notifications. That's just what I recommend. We cover things like this, and I'll tell you, a lot of people try and cover this. A lot of people get into different charts and patterns and different speculations. We're not into that, guys. We like to meet our pricing targets precisely. We like our lines precise. When I bring you lines from say the previous day, I mean, I like my lines to be literally, I'm talking, perfected, and I'll do that normally ahead of time. Sometimes I've got different features on, etc. But I want to draw this one out to where you guys understand the level of precision that we are, that it is necessary that we go to ensure accuracy. I mean, I want literally everything to be right on. So if you guys aren't into that level of accuracy, I recommend it. It took me an additional, what was it? Probably 20, 30 seconds there. What did I gain? I gained accuracy. Okay, so that accuracy I gained was critical. So as we looked at this, we had a kind of a dual touch along the resistance line here of what was forming into what we said would be, clearly kind of a bull pennant. Now, this is real easy. Now, in terms of the distance that we were looking at it going, clearly the rationale here is we have one of two options. I'll just tell you that. If you take the stutter step, there's really two options. Either the flagpole, we'll call it the flagpole. That's textbook, guys. The flagpole is either one of those two options, and it didn't matter to us which one it was. We did take the first option. Okay, we took that option. All right. And that is the first option that we took in our analysis, and I can show you the backdoor. If you want these backdoor approaches, you can look into the Discord. Okay, you can follow us on Twitter. It's The Kingdom. Find us. All right, The Kingdom. TheKingdom. Shout out to Twitter and Jack and all those guys because they're nice at letting us keep the kingdom. That's a great name, huh? I really like that name. This is the Crypto Kingdom. I'm in London, by the way. Great to have you here. It's a nice morning. A lot of exciting stuff going on. I'm explaining this bull pennant pattern that we traded yesterday on this breakout. Now, I had to stay up late. We had already done a 2-hour show. I said, I'm going to get in on this because I like this pattern. It's just an easy meal. What I say, it's just an easy meal. So what we're going to do, we're going to replicate this, okay? We're going to replicate the distance traveled, essentially the distance traveled, that vertical price movement, and we're going to stick it literally just right there. Now, when I talk about something that is very ordered and predictable, guys, you don't get any better than this. And from a technical standpoint, I would not have invested lightly in the long here, and I say lightly because I still understand the potential for this to carve back to the downside and present a massive, and that's not a scare tactic. It's just the truth. It can. Now, will it bother me if it does? No. Why? Because I have more money to invest. I have more money to cover at lower levels as it retraces. I'm never going to put myself in a position where I'm compromised. Never. Okay. So I did this morning make about 50% on my trade. That's a good morning. That's a nice morning. Now it looks like it may be in for another stutter. I don't want to stutter while I say stutter step, right? But I just did. That's funny. The possibility that this will represent some sort of an additional trading pattern, we will go over. And I'll say we'll go over on the channel. If you guys would like to know this type of information, tune in. We do this all the time on Harmony One. We love trading Harmony One. If you guys aren't involved in it, pick up some some old sheets. Y'all are behind on the newspaper, on the headlines. Get involved in Harmony One. We love Harmony One. At least with the community, we got just a rocking kind of group, a lot of fun. Dogecoin, you guys are crazy. I'm not sure I can really hang with you guys all the time, but I would like to maybe if I could with a good group. If you guys got a good group there, I'm not into offshoots. I'm not into other offshoot coins that are kind of off the books and sub-zero coins. I'm not into that. But it seems like Elon and you guys have a great thing going. It's dynamically well. I mean, I'm involved with you up to say 200%. I got a 50% on you. So I'm gonna see if I can catch you. If I can trade and catch you guys, that'd be real interesting, huh? That'd make the record books if I can trade during these dynamics and catch you at whatever level of involvement you have at an entry price of say 2 cents or sub 2 cents. I bet I can catch it in terms of what this does. It's just because I apply market fundamentals and I apply those technical analytics, that strategy. So yeah, that's 53%. Okay, 53% on the morning just for me. Now it's great to see it's up 200%. Well, that's great. I like that. That's nice, huh? I was able to just look at this pattern and go into it and specifically say yes. Now it required, guys, pattern trading requires, I'll tell you, a keen eye and a watchful eye. Because on this breakout, I'm just telling you guys, this is where you literally are spending time. You're waiting for that price action to develop. You're waiting for the market maker to decide, is there enough demand here? Is this volume going to build in? And we got in on the low volume. Normally, if you get in on the low volume, I'll tell you guys, as you look at your charts, if you get in on the low volume, typically it means you're ahead of the curve and you're going to make some money. Because what he'll do is the market maker will take this out and he will shop it. I'll tell you, he will shop it to the buyers at these other levels, okay? And that's normally done through, kind of his dispersion of the news, okay? When you see, let's see, what is it? Typically, let's just see this positive buying activity right here kind of accumulates in this area. You see that volume down here? Yeah, people are accumulating at this level. It's enough for him to take it out to the market, and you receive those notifications sometimes, don't you? Yeah, he'll take it out, and he will deliver those to other individuals who are willing to get involved, just like I did right at this kind of, and this is why I get a magnifying glass, guys, because it could have broken to the downside. So, but I get a magnifying glass and okay, we're over it, good. I'm precise with my lines. My lines are perfect, right? And so I look into the fact we have broken out. Now I want the market maker to take my orders, to take my products and take it essentially to the other individuals in the market at a higher price. So he goes to work for us. We use his software, essentially this trading view. It lets us deal with charting dynamics. It lets us deal with all types of just great dynamics that we're looking at it, whether they be Fibonacci levels. And let's get all the way back to the Fibonacci's. And we may dig into the crowd a little bit. We're looking at Dogecoin, guys. It's up 200%. This is one of those phenomenal market events that's going to make history. So I know there's probably a lot of different channels going on right now. That's fine. I enjoy it. We've got a great trading history here that has been, it's been proven. It's solid. It's something that we can hang our hats on. We're happy to do that. We have a great group. You guys are some of the best guys, loyal guys, and you guys know me, I think, by now. So you're probably hearing like, we know London. We're going to stick with London this morning. Stay away from the hype and stay away from the all the what's that, chicas and champagne, huh? I like that line, huh? Anyway, you got to stay away from that chicas and champagne, man. Anyway, that's not what we're about, but we're a cool crew here. We know that in terms of just the ability to focus on details, strategy, stay focused. We want that discipline in this group. So we have a good group. As we look back at the Fibonacci's, yeah, we did, we reached into our pocketbook, in and around here. Let's say in and around here, we reached into the pocketbook. We've got some good gains for the day. That's not saying much because everyone does who's decided to get in that. It wasn't a FOMO. It wasn't a fear of missed opportunity. I want to let you guys know that getting into Dogecoin. It was exactly a technical pattern. The exact reason I got in was because of the level of predictability of the technical bull pennant that I saw. That's it, guys. Okay, so people want to say, well, you're going to hop the ship, you're not loyal. I'll tell you guys, on something that's going to appreciate in value 40 or 50%, if you want to know the truth of how many trades I take like that a week, because I always talk about people in a specific instrument, I give you the price target, you make 30%, this and that, you make 20%. Some people that may just glaze over them. They may not even understand what I'm talking about. I'm delivering you a price target of 13 cents, let's say, for the 7th of April. At 13 cents, the thing's going to move. It goes up 30 to 50%. All right, so this is just ordinary for me. I'll see a pricing target or I'll see a technical chart, a technical pattern, and I'll know I'm going to trade it. It's just it's second nature for me, and I would like that to be second nature for all of you, so that we could have good discussions on that. A lot of you are learning, and that's really phenomenal that you guys are willing to learn. You're putting in the hours. I tell you, it takes hours, weeks, days, months, years. It's a long process, but it's something you can perfect and you can Now, a lot of, some people will say this week, and you'll see a lot of YouTubers that are saying this week we have a pattern, a possible breakout. Like, guys, this is day trading 101. This is very, very, very intense. This is a level of hours. This is staying up, watching this, on alert, making sure that you've got it down, and it's worth it. I mean, this is just fun. This is what we enjoy to do. So that's the easy. I mean, that right there, that's the easy meal looking at you, right? And what is it? It's down to here. Yeah, that's the easy meal. It's a little bit different with this level of candles. That's the easy meal just looking at you, right? So enjoy that, and you'll see the convergence there of this dynamic right into about the bulk of the price action here. It's a perfect stair step. All right, so there's nothing confusing about it. It's exactly a pricing target that or a pricing mechanism or a chart that we liked. We stepped into it at a light level, again, at a level that was not too heavy, and yeah, we just enjoyed that. That's just what we appreciated doing, and our investment appreciated. I would not have gotten involved. Okay, I'm going to tell you this, unless there was something that was verifiable in terms of a charting pattern that gave me a degree of certainty. Okay, a degree of certainty based upon the probabilities and kind of specificities in the math involvement with the actual formation. I'm not going to get too technical on you, but you can mathematically compose a price chart. Okay, you can mathematically analyze it aside from drawing a line. I'm not going to get into kind of derivative analysis or some of the more advanced kind of features. I'm not going to get into that on the channel, probably ever. But we can get into that, and if you can prove up some of these trades, it will help you mathematically if you're ever into that. That's the level of background that I have, is looking at kind of pricing mechanisms, and it's complicated enough. It can become stressful, I'll just tell you. So I prefer to use kind of a nice standardized chart that I understand, that everyone understands, and I appreciate the software and the community very much. Thank you, TradingView and Binance and everyone else for giving us this software. This is a premium edition of TradingView. You have access to that as well. You can download TradingView. You can go to the website. You can pull it up on Binance. These are the features that are given to us by the exchange. Okay, Binance includes this directly with. They're the largest crypto exchange in the world, right? In the world. So they're going to provide everyone with TradingView, and all of these formats or all of these platforms will have Fibonacci's. Oh wow! All of these platforms will be able to draw bull pennants. Oh wow! Okay, so that gives me a level of certainty. I don't have to do the calculations. I don't have to get into it with the math necessarily. I can just rely a little bit on the structured framework of the program, the software program that we're using, the interface. And I like to bring that information to you guys so that you can capitalize on it. Not everyone has a very advanced kind of an engineering or a technical kind of skill set, mathematical skill set or intelligence skill set that they can bring to the table. So that's what I can bring to the table, and we're happy to have you here. I want to see if anyone has joined up on Twitter, and it has. It looks like Mr. Crypto himself has checked in, has jettisoned into the door in our Twitter. Guys, go ahead and throw a profile pic on here if you can. We'd love to see who you are. We have some great new individuals. If you search for The Kingdom, TheKingdom, The Kingdom, and scroll down, you'll have to scroll down, click Go to the Kingdom to find us. We're not easy to find, but once you find us, you'll be glad you found us. Yeah, just click on follow, and that's us right here. And we provide you with technical analysis, the latest in updates, and kind of new skill sets. We like people who are trying to develop as traders. And that's important for us, is to be able to share our knowledge with you and allow you to share your knowledge with other people. So we grow as a community. We have a phenomenal Discord. Shout out to Yoski. Shout out to Red Raider. Shout out to, and then, guys, this is just a great chat room where we share charts. We get into projections. We get into hot cryptos, all different types of things. If we get into projections, for instance, I'll bring you just up. If you just have a moment here, let's look at my projection that I had on Bitcoin. If you guys want to look at my projection on Bitcoin, this was before this price action actually occurred. Kind of a diamond pattern. The height here, bam, right here. I called this and posted it up beforehand. It met it exactly. Okay, so in terms of the specificity, it met that exactly. It did break out. On the breakout, I said, this is where it's going, right here. That's something that we trade. That's tradable, okay? That's an easy meal. As I say, it's an easy meal in the market, okay? And some days you have difficult meals to kind of go through, but irrespective, you guys go with that Discord, join us there. And can someone, Red Raider, or somebody give me if you give me the link to the Discord, I will include it for people to go ahead and enjoy. Let's see, or can you post that, Red Raider? Post that invite to the Discord, please. I'd appreciate it in the chat room so that people have that. I'll try and pick up on it. I can include one if you guys would like me to. I will include one. Let me see here. And actually, let me mute this thing. I remembered I'm supposed to mute this. If I can mute this tab, it's already muted. Good. All right, now we're looking at Dogecoin. It's continuing to go up. It's going to challenge 40 cents again. Let's watch it challenge 40 cents. In the midst of it challenging 40 cents, and let's see if we can pull up this specific candle so you guys can watch the price action on it. I think that's one of the most important things for you to watch right now is this pricing action. Now we've met the level of the preceding I'll just tell you of the preceding formation, the technical formation. Now we're getting into what's the next formation. Okay, is it going to keep me in the trade, or is it going to be a done deal? We're going to see right now. We're going to see. Let me get into. Let me go ahead and try and post, if I can, try and post an invite. I want to invite you guys to the. There we go. Invite copied. I want to invite you guys via the chat here to join our Discord. So let me get into joining the Discord, and we cover overall market theory, etc. There we go on the Discord. And you guys, let's see. I'm going to pin that message to the top, and then I'm going to click on it and make sure that this Discord, that this works. Hopefully this will work so that you guys can join the Discord and the discussion group. Join up on Twitter. Join the, what is it? The 2000. The 2000 Harmony 1, the giveaway for 2000. That's an active link that I just posted in the chat room. So you guys enjoy that. Go ahead and scroll through. And I'll tell you, we're not in competition with other channels, okay? In terms of massive amounts of viewers, everything like that, we have our own niche, and it's a specialty in the financial investment world, and it's through a lot of big deals. We don't sell individual stocks. That's not my background. I don't sell individual stocks. I put together billion-dollar deals, and I've been doing that for a long time. So if you're looking for stock advice, stuff like that, you can discuss that with a broker. This is not financial advice. This is just, I have a prolific individual trading background and a hedge fund ownership background. So that's what I do and have done for a long time. That's what I enjoy doing, is looking at charts for a very long time. That's kind of my forte. That's what I enjoy. So let me go and look at kind of where we're at on this. It looks like we're pushing back in and above the 40-cent mark. Yeah, 39 cents. Let's check in at Harmony 1. It's a good representative of something that's very solidly formed. And it looks like we have zoomed in here to a dramatic degree. That's interesting. That's interesting. I don't like that. I don't know what happened. That's kind of nice, though. We can kind of see the pricing action here. That happened by accident, but I like that. That's okay. This pricing action here is, still stable. I'm going to say it's still stable for us in Harmony 1. We have a pricing target of 13 cents. And I'll tell you, I would anticipate there being orders there. So I would anticipate what brought people a 30 to 50% return. As we look at Harmony 1 versus Dogecoin right now, Dogecoin has gone up 50% today. All right, that's good. Well, you know what? Harmony 1 went up 50% on the 7th. We call that pricing action, right? That's another kind of an easy meal in terms of, as I look at these, this is an easy meal, no big deal. It's not excessive, nothing. I mean, it's a reasonable amount of investment for me. It's not something that is going to ruin the day. People who go all in, kind of a YOLO approach. That can be very dangerous. We don't like to see people go in with a YOLO approach. And we're here discussing the technical analytics of what's going on, trying to protect people's portfolio, trying to have a dignified, professional discussion, okay? A professionally oriented discussion in terms of risk allocation, in terms of not biting off too much, in terms of kind of overexposure. You don't want to create too much exposure for yourself, guys. And that's one of the worst things we can hear is individuals who have gotten into a trading dynamic that was too volatile. There was too much action to the upside, and they were unable to literally, to stomach that. They went ahead and they couldn't control their trade. They went in too heavy at too high of a price, and now they're stuck in it. I cannot stand people being stuck in something like that. And they could have just learned. They could have just learned an approach to kind of pepper in investments. You're reaching this lower level of Fibonacci. If we draw that trend line, the red zone, we don't have money in the red zone. Maybe in this green zone, yeah, okay, fine. We start to invest a little bit. We start to program some limit orders in, and we invest a little bit. If you guys are interested in kind of limit orders and things like that, nature's kind of a strategy that you don't understand, we do have some individuals that I think are putting some classes together in our Discord. Okay, so they're going to be teaching kind of what that means. What is a limit order, and how can that maximize your time and kind of turn it into a program trading event? So you guys go ahead and look at the Discord. There's some classes that are going going to be going on for limit orders, and just all for educational, instructional purposes. This is not financial advice. We're not selling or pumping. You're not going to hear that here. We have some good songs that are called "Pump It Up." We have a good time listening to those, but. Of course, I'm not singing them clearly, but we do have the basics and the fundamental chart analysis. We traded this last night on the breakout. So the good thing is it wasn't just it's pumping, it's doing great. We apply the fundamentals, okay, on an individualized kind of day trading basis to jump in, say, yes, we're going to trade this. And yeah, we traded it right here, right where we should have. And we were up 50%. I always say we don't get credit for screenshots, guys. If you realize your gains, that's what you want. If you realize your gains, that puts you in the minority there. We don't get credit for screenshots and for overall value and let the exchange and the market take back the money. That's just, no, we don't get credit for that. Now, how could you have achieved this exact price target? How would you have known that this price target would have executed? Okay, because it went up to 40. Then I'll get into the details here in terms of how we trade and how this channel brings value to you as a listener. Okay, we are going to bring this flagpole up. I know it was just with a repetition. It's such a clear pennant, guys. It was clear enough. I was like, easy meal. We're going to take it. Going to go ahead and take this at a light level. Again, a light level, nothing that's going to break the bank or cause problems at home. We don't want that. We do not want that ever. So if we just extrapolate up, essentially we're going to copy over this immediate price action. And with this level of structure, we can copy it directly. So we know essentially it's going to go up to 42 cents. All right, this 42-cent level. Now, what did it do? It went up to about 45 in actuality. Now, I'm not sure which exchange, okay, and I always bring this up on your price targets. I'm not sure which exchange you operate on. If you're trying to day trade this and make some money in along these swoops, I can't tell you that necessarily you would have even gotten filled at the 42. So that may jump down. You have to know which exchange you're on, whether or not they're going to fill high orders. You may have paid a little bit more up here, but they'll give you a little bit more on top. So you have to watch that price on the overall kind of price action in this overall kind of chart. Understand exactly what's going on and where the market is, not just where your specific opportunity to exit is. You may get picked up by your exchange or not, depending upon how well you know your exchange and the pricing dynamics that they give you particularly. So that's a lot to say. We knew it was going to 42. It went to 45. Cool. Okay. Easy. Now, are we forming? Most likely, we're forming another pricing pattern. Now, that is just to let you know in terms of, well, how do you know when to get in? How do you know when to get out? Well, that tells us when to get out. That analytic that we just went through tells us exactly when to exit the trade. If we choose to exit the trade, some of you may want to just hold. There may be some money to be made, and it's not, the whole purpose of the market is to capitalize on your investment. So if you can reasonably, and you can mitigate your risk and have fun while you're doing it, then there's no problem with that. I mean, if you're having fun trading, a lot of people just love trading. They want to be, they maybe a doctor. I meet doctors like, I want to be a stockbroker. I want to run my own account. Like, all right, that's cool. You can do that, doc. Let's talk. I normally talk with them, say, well, what can you teach me? Because they're not in finance. I have a finance background, so we have a good talk. Let's see. On this prior retracement, yeah, you could have saved maybe depending upon your exchange, maybe upwards of 20%, 23% from the high to the low if you had calculated this out. So yeah, on this one, you may be able to save. Let's bring this down. This 20% or so. Now that may give us kind of a floor in and around here to anticipate kind of the formation of whatever we're going to see. It's a little bit on the high side. It looks like it ran up on this candle. The wick is a little bit high, so I wouldn't trust that quite so much as I might kind of a standardized line chart. I might look at something like that, and I might prefer this right now to kind of say, and things get a little choppy when you switch from the candles to the lines. I do that depending upon the kind of the volatility of what I'm looking at. Yeah, and I bring that up because, yes, we did meet that on the candles. Clearly, we met this price target exactly on the candles, and that's what gave me the resolve to get involved in this trade last night and say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and trade Dogecoin. That was after the lights were shut out, after the city was shut down. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and just do this. It's an easy 1-2 punch. 1-2 punch is kind of a knockout. Just bam, we got it. 50% in, what was that? Just a number of hours, just take a nap, get up, and yeah, we made our 50%. That's good. That's good. That pattern worked. The strategies that we employ typically do work. So I'll just say it's a textbook. I mean, if they taught us correctly, then yeah, these patterns are going to work. So that's the functionality of what we do and what we bring to the table. It's not hype. We don't go through hype here. We go through technicals, and we do go through some fundamentals. In terms of the management structure of the company. What are the dynamics of the technology? What is the what are the inner workings of it that bring it value? But you're seeing here today, there are some people that are kind of convinced, I'm going to say that Dogecoin has some value. And I'll say it may be a runaway market. It may be just a runaway stampede, kind of this bull rampage we discussed. Maybe it's just that in a market hype. But I just have a feeling right now, given the pricing dynamic, that there are some people who literally believe somehow that Dogecoin has some value. So it is, I guess it's being invested to as an asset. If you're looking at it as an asset, I would, you can always, I guess it's boring for you guys to think about going to like Merrill Lynch, the wealth management division of Merrill Lynch. You don't have to go there. But if you do, tell them I sent you. But I know a few guys there. But yeah, you're like, that's the most boring thing. That's the most anti-crypto thing in the world. So don't turn off the station now. That's kind of funny. They have some great credit facilities and wealth management facilities. Some nice guys. I'm not one of those guys, just so you know. I'm not formerly with Merrill Lynch. That's okay. They're nice guys, I think. They have a cool credit card. You guys with a bull on it. You guys like credit cards and visas and everything. The little trick of the trade for those of you who are here right now: the Merrill Lynch Visa Bull Card, the signature Bull Card. If you guys want a hot Visa or you want the American Express Black Card, you want these different things. The Merrill Lynch signature Visa Card. All right, that bad boy, you can have like $1 million credit line on it. Okay, you can go buy a Rolls Royce, just bam, throw your bull down. They'll know you're involved in the market. It's a hot little, it's a nice Visa card. That signature bull card is it's nice. Also, I think any hotel I was at, I get me what was it like $75,000 if you want to a cash advance. It's got a very high limit. It's for a very high net worth individual. So just that's a little trick of the trade. Okay, that's a little perk in terms of listening to the channel. That's one of the advantages kind of hanging out here, and you guys have your own advantages you can kind of bring to the table. Let's look as we collapse this down. Look at that beautiful price action on the volume, guys. This is some consistent, nice program volume. Look at this with the original. Let's pull back these lines and let's just appreciate the price action and what's going on. Let's analyze it and let's make sure we understand it. Okay, if there's any questions, let's make sure that we address it. Okay, as we look at this pricing, the dynamic of this volume. Okay, I like this volume. I like it. It looks programmed. It's very kind of a peaceful, kind of ordinary, periodic kind of influx of capital that's going in. It looks like programmed buying is being achieved. If you can construct your portfolio in line with some of the program dynamics, that's phenomenal. I would do so at a very light level. It is going up, and I would protect yourself on the downside. Okay, we don't get points for screenshots in terms of how much money you did have. So always protect yourself. Be prepared to kind of schedule out and be prepared to double down. So that's kind of a good thing. If you guys wanted to enjoy some price action, we have gone through kind of what would be, what would encompass a good strategy or approach to acquiring. Normally we'll work on a retracement level, okay? You guys know that, but let's bring it up again and see if we have any retracements to discuss. Let's see. Let's go ahead and draw this above. Let's get into the Fibonacci. So if you say, okay, great, I want to use the retracements. I want to find a good price. I think it's a good level of discipline approach for me to get into. Well, first of all, you get your Fibonacci tool. It's going to go from the base of the trend on up to the top, okay, to the top level here. Then just kind of spread that out to give yourself some room to look at the different levels, okay? Now, the numbers on the left are going to explain exactly what the Fibonacci's are. They're just the percentage, or they're essentially the percentage of the retracement that you're going to experience. The top level is going to be about a 23% retracement of the overall price action. The next level is going to be about a 38.2, okay, retracement. These are built-in predefined levels, okay? So as you look at this level here, I will typically draw, my chart, my Fibonacci, that's going to be in line with, and this is kind of a detail here, so you understand, how do we accumulate this on the way up at a good price? Okay, well, I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to draw the price action, okay? I'm going to draw this Fibonacci to where the dotted line along the left goes to the previous high, okay? This is what I'm going to call the kind of the beginning of my price trend. I'm going to do that right in here, and I want to make sure it just kisses perfectly. Okay, I want to kiss that right on top, bam, of that previous high. That's great. That previous step. Okay, then this, I'm going to make sure that this is right in line with this level right here, right in line on top, and it's just a kiss right on top there, okay? That's what I'm looking at. Now, in the red zone, I don't have any money. I'm just going to tell everybody I don't have money in that red zone. As it gets in to any of this green zone, okay, I'm going to pepper in a little bit of money. I'll put in maybe $100 in this zone. I'm going to program up a trade, and I can get these figures immediately, right, when it hits this high. Now, it's wanting to challenge that high, okay? That's fine. I may accumulate along the way. That's why it's $100, okay? That's why it's not a heavier amount of money, and it also could go down as well as it's just going up. We'll see what it continues to do, but that's, again, if we look at the candlesticks, this pattern changes a little bit. Let's bring the candlesticks up since we're in kind of in a very aggressive move to the upside. Let's understand that we can look at this in terms of an acquisition. Our strategy is to, decrease your cost basis because we don't want you getting in at 45 cents. We just don't want that, right? So if this, the price action has gone up, from this, the incipiency, the beginning of this price action, okay, I'm going to say from 27 to in and around 44, and we can adjust this up a little bit. If you guys would like to, that might make sense. If we're working on the candles, let's get back to that previous price action. There we go. Previous price action in and around. Let's just kiss the top of that candle. All right, bam, right there. Let that line just, it just melt into or just hover right immediately upon. Let's say just hover immediately upon that previous high. Okay, that gives us the current trend, the current value of the trend, okay? That's what we want to analyze as we look at accumulating something that's appreciating in value. We want a lower cost. You always say, and people understand this, they won't appreciate this strategy very much. It's like, oh, this is a lot of hassle, this and that. But every one of you will say, I wish I got in back here. I really wish that I got in back here. You understand that? And everyone's like, yeah, okay, yeah, you understand. Everyone's going to say, without a doubt, oh yeah, we wish we got in back here. Look at all the money we would have made. Well, the approach that I'm telling you right now in terms of accumulating at a lower level, guys, that's putting you in, literally, it's just a lack of maybe understanding in terms of the overall strategy. It may have to do with, deal with how well I can communicate it. I'll try and communicate it better. But that's giving you that lower end approach, that lower end entry levels, okay, at a heavier amount of money. You look at the retracement that's given to us by the exchange program, TradingView. Okay, they give us this exchange software. Okay, it's available on the internet. This is what the exchange traders use. We're going to be able to say we got in down here. Okay, and everyone's going to say, "Oh, really wish we got in here." Okay, look at where I'm pointing the arrow. Yes, of course you're going to say that. Well, and here the strategy I'm giving you is you're going to be able to say, "Well, we got in down here." We got in down here. We were able to get in heavier down here, okay? Because there may not be much difference as you look at this, from this period into this period, if you're dealing with gains of 50%, okay? Because you're going to want to say, man, if you're looking at 50% or 75%, guys, this is a 75% difference right here. 75%, right? Well, the next step is, well, what if you don't get in down here? What if you decide to get in up here? Oh, well, I guess you made 12%. You made 12% before what? Well, before you maybe lost 32%. Yeah, so the whole nature of the entire game is getting in down here. Especially if something's going to be going strongly to the upside. The whole nature of this, okay, as sure as you would look at this, and please understand this, as sure as you would look and say, man, I wish I got in down here. I wish I got in at 13 cents. Man, I should have got in at 13 cents. Okay. The same argument, the same construct bleeds over directly into the nature of, man, we want to make sure we get in down here. All right, we just had a phenomenal bull pennant. We just traded this. We made 50% on it. Now, I want to make sure I get in down here. Okay, it's either going to be, it's the same rationale carry over. Directly, the same rationale is, man, I wish we got in down here. Yeah, that's right. Now we're on a different trade. Right now we're on a different acquisition basis. And you guys just, if you want to be lazy with things, sometimes I get like that too. It's like, well, I just want to be lazy. Well, I can't be lazy. It's trading strategy. I have to buy low and sell high. So that mandates essentially that I take this approach. I want to get in down here if I'm not already in a position, if I haven't held through. Okay, always take that position. All right, it's the same equivalent, and I hope you guys understand that. If you're looking at getting into, you may be looking at getting out of Doge at some point, or getting out or back into something like Harmony One. You may like the story of Harmony One once you look into the story of Harmony One. We encourage you, don't get in up here. Don't buy high to sell low. Don't do that. You'll blow up your account. All right. We encourage you to try and get in right here. Okay, this was our pricing target. People already on our target made, what was it, 30%, 30 to 50% in one day. Bam. So that's just the truth. That's the information that we bring you. That's our trading philosophy. That's kind of how I was trained, is to maximize your gains. It sounds real easy. It sounds like a tagline. It's not a tagline at all. It's the equivalent of getting in down here. And I tell you, if you trade these, it only takes a few different times. You have to understand. I'll just go through this, guys. What's the difference between this level, okay, this level right in here, which is the lower end of this? What's the difference in this lower end of this level of this recent price action and down here? What's the difference? 56%. The difference is only 56%? You betcha. The difference is only 56%. So do you think in the next 3 or 4 trading intervals here that I can put together 56%? If I follow a strategy that makes sense, do you think I can put together 56%? I guarantee you I can put together 56%. Okay, so that's where it becomes very, very rational for you to understand this acquisition at lower levels, the dedicated approach to looking at the Fibonacci levels and this tiered kind of heavyweight double down or triple down approach. More money as it retraces at a heavier amount to acquire more volume at a better cost basis. That means a lower price per coin. Okay, that is going to give us. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to eat into this 56% difference. It's going to be like if I trade 2 or 3 of these, and I do it with a pattern approach, my limit orders, it's going to be exactly like I bought in right here. Because that's what everybody wants. I'm going to tell you, everybody wants to reverse time. And no one knows how to do it on a specific interval basis with a strategy accumulation. No one knows how to do that. We want to reverse time. We want to get in down here at 8 cents. All right, can you do that? I don't know. What percentage do you need to make up? That's 286%. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? 286%. Let's look at that real quickly. You think we can make that up in the difference here? We just showed the kind of the carryover pattern here. We showed this line, exactly what we decided to trade into. All right, this frequency interval basis, essentially the rise, the trajectory and price, this bull pennant that we had put together. It was a very clear bull pennant. Very clear bull pennant that we traded into. Very predictable, highly predictable. Okay. Extraordinarily predictable. So that is something that couldn't paste. I'm not sure. TradingView is maybe short-circuiting. That's okay. It's no problem. It does that sometimes. Let's look at what do we have here? So I knew that this bull pennant was going to play. All right. So in terms of looking at it, can I make up 200%? Well, yeah, I probably can, guys. I can probably make it the equivalent real quickly of me having gotten in right here. Believe it or not, within a few of these different structured events. Why? Because I'm going to cover myself on the downside, first of all. Okay, I will cover myself on the downside, and I will get into kind of an approach. Again, this is not necessarily investment advice. It's an approach, but I'm going to cover myself on the downside. Let me go ahead and leave that. Let me bring this back up and let me get back into it from here. See if it wants to function. There we go. I'm going to cover myself on the downside without a doubt. I'm always going to have insurance money. This bull pennant was an easy circumstance. Could I really make up? And this is my chart from last night. Okay, this is a kind of a easy kind of deal. Chart from last night. We go to the candles. We reached exactly up into this level. I just tell you, we did. You guys know it. We just went over that. So let me delete out some of these. But look at how calculated I'm already being in terms of limit orders on this after taking a position out. Okay, after taking out and conquering through this position, the sophisticated approach is, okay, now I'm exiting this. Now what am I doing? I'm reaccumulating. All of these patterns, I'm immediately dropping this out, okay? All of these patterns based upon this level of pricing action, I'm immediately putting into play my current, and now we're gonna have to look at, I'll probably get into the candles, okay? I'm gonna get into the candles to show me the overall price action. Perfect, we're right on top on the Fibonacci. We've drawn out, and this gets into kind of a quick level of interaction. But what am I doing? I'm recapturing, guys, I am recapturing the difference between here and here. What is that? That's 30%. All right, so I'm recapturing that 30% right here. Not only am I making, okay, I'm going to say I'm making, what is it? Essentially around 50, 60%. Let's say just 50%, that's fine. 50, 55% on this trade. I entered it very well, okay? It was a micro kind of cosmic event, decided to get in, and 70%, okay? on this one trade. Okay, maximized that 70%. Then on the downside, what am I going to come up with? Well, I'm going to achieve essentially some sort of a relationship with a 40% gain already on program trade orders that go in, heavier on the downside. Okay, I'm maximizing my volume. I already know my levels. It's already given me a high. It's exactly in line with what I had anticipated. So this information is already put through in terms of limit orders, okay? I'm looking at a 70% gain, and I can capture an additional 30% on my money. Do you guys see how it turns into very quickly? And I think you do. I know you guys are smart enough. It turns into very quickly. It's just like I got in down here. There's no difference. Everybody wants that multiplicity. Everyone wants that increased gains. Guys, if you multiply your, how many times did it take you to multiply something by 20 or 30% to double your money? You get into this area very easily. And that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants that area back. They want, man, I just wish I could got in. If I could got in, to Microsoft, I tell you, if I got into Microsoft at like $15, whew, it's $230. That would have been incredible. Okay, well, percentage basis by percentage basis, you can do that. Okay, you can re-strategize. You liquidate at your price targets. You re-strategize on accumulation basis, heavier on the downside in this top level right here. Okay, in this top level, look at this. Dogecoin is the future cryptocurrency of Earth. Get ready. Well, I guess maybe it is the future cryptocurrency of Earth. I hope that it does not completely decimate the crypto market. If it does, I'm going to have my pricing targets set out. Okay, along the way, I encourage you guys to as well. And I'm not hating on any coin. My coin of choice right now to trade with is Harmony One. I love Harmony One. It's very, very predictable. We're up about 200% on Dogecoin, which is why we're talking about it today. And it's good exposure for us to realize in an upward kind of bull rampage. First of all, to not get picky about your investments. Don't adopt the culture and don't swear off anything. I mean, if you see a bull pennant, why would you not take a bull pennant? All right, why would you not take a perfect bull pennant and go ahead and make yourself 70%? Why would you not do that? Does anyone have a valid reason here? I understand preference. I understand we want to jaw talk and say that's just not for us. That's not what we're doing. I'll tell you, why would you not take a perfect bull pennant technically? And why would you not say, okay, look, I guess I can. I'll go ahead and do it. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to trade this thing for a minute to where it's like I got in at like 6 cents or 5 cents. I'm going to turn back time for a minute and I'm going to make some dynamic gains. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. If you can't bring yourself to that point, now the difference is you can kind of do that with anything that you choose to invest in. So you can kind of turn back time and say, well, what do you really want to focus on? I understand that, but it's got phenomenal price action. And let's get rid of these intervals. Let's turn these intervals. I got my Fibonacci timing intervals on, which are really crucial. We'll see how those come into play here, whether or not they do come into play. We've got all kinds of goodness all over this this specific chart. Let's pull over this, and it just looks like essentially we're kind of maintaining. But you guys understand how you literally can get into a scenario that yeah, you're trading and picking up the leverage. Now people want to make money on Dogecoin. They want to make money on Harmony. They want to make money on anything. Let's just take a look at Theta. Let's see how it's correlated with Dogecoin right now. It looks like it's very well correlated. Okay. Looks like we have a spike in price action, a small retracement, and it's trying to go to the upside. We have here a spike in price action. It looks like a retracement. It's going to the upside. We always want to keep an eye on. This is the type of differential analytics we're going to do throughout the day. I want to keep an eye on. All right, now I noticed that Theta's in the green. Okay, great. I want to know exactly from the breakout of the pennant. Let's say from the breakout, or let's just do it from the previous high that we have. Let's look at this. It's about 42% on the upside with Dogecoin. Different on the candlesticks. Let's look at about 42%. Let's give this some credit and let's look at from about here to here, about 42%. Okay, so Theta is showing me about 20%. All right, so it's showing me exponentially. It's showing me less of a gain right now. There may be some more stability in it. I don't know. We'd have to look at the chart. I think I played with Theta a long time ago. You'll see this block line in here. This was not one that I traded. Believe it or not, this was a pennant that I did not trade. You see this block line here, up and down? I did not trade this bull pennant. You'll notice by that block line that I have. And look what it did. Spilled out and just coasted on forward. So I don't like the predictability of Theta, which is why I did not get into it. That's the type of judgment call that I make. Block line, I didn't publish anything about that to any of our members, our viewers. So it wasn't a trade anybody got involved in. And if I'm doing something like this, I'm explaining to you a trade that I took so that you can understand how I made money. And that's the goal of everybody, is to make money. Some people want to buy and hold. That's fine. If I can arrange things to where it looks like essentially I'm able to go back in time and achieve a lower all cost basis in line with something along like a 7 cents or a 4 cents on or a $4, let's say. If I can work my way back to like essentially a $4 cost basis on Microsoft when it's at 230, all right, that's you're killing the market at that point. So if the dynamics make sense to you, trading technicals, you understand getting a value difference on your exit price versus a reaccumulation price, and you can see that as a value gain. And your next percentage, one, you're going to see how this multiplies up exponentially. You're going to work back into a lower cost basis, or at least you're going to match those returns of individuals who have been involved for a longer time. You'll no longer start to gauge yourself in terms of, well, what price did you get in? Oh, wow, we've been holding for 4 years. What price did you get in? You'll smoke those guys. You'll be able to smoke those guys. An advanced trader is going to be able to smoke those guys who got in at 0.007 cents. All right, that's fine. What's the percentage of 10? You need another 10x? Okay, fine. How long do we have? What do we need to do to accomplish that? It's just, that's what traders do, guys. That's the approach of what you're going to be looking at. So that's my challenge to you today. Maybe that's a little too much. Maybe you guys are not into that level of trading. Maybe you would like to understand. Maybe you'd like to understand. And in terms of financial advice, it's just a strategy. This is a strategy, okay, that's used by the top dogs on the street, the institutions around the world that are involved. They are involved heavily in things like Bitcoin. They're involved heavily. It's kind of a double down or triple down approach, all right? And in terms of advice, this is not financial advice, okay? Your financial advisor is going to go over a lot of things dealing with risk, dealing with federal laws and state laws and market laws and, different things he's going to have to cover, liabilities and waiver agreements and arbitration clauses. I'm not going through any of that. Okay, I'm telling you a strategy that's popularized and used on the street, and I'm applying it to the instant action along with my financial history and kind of my success I've had and the specialty that I have been able to accumulate over the years. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trained. I've worked in and against or with Harvard Foundation and putting together $1 billion equity fund. My numbers work. I know how this game works. So yeah, that's me in terms of there's my disclosure. Excuse me. Had to get that disclosure to you. I hope you guys aren't making any decisions. How does that go? You're not making any decisions based upon what I say. I hope you guys are just rationally looking at things and that you're able to see, yes, we need a lower price. Yes, we need to make money. Some of you may not have the energy to get involved in the market at this level. It's not easy, guys. You look at a day trader, think of a boiler room. Everyone likes that action. It's kind of like an action movie. Everybody, I want to be like Vin Diesel. It's like, at the end of the day, it's like, I don't want to jump off a moving truck onto a flying airplane. Things get a little dangerous sometimes. You don't know what you're doing. Leave it to the professionals, maybe. I don't know. But that's kind of neither here nor there. Let's go a little bit into kind of maybe some more charts. Let's look at some more charts. We looked at theta. I want to look at, let me pull up another program. You guys hit me up in the comments. What else do you see that's going wild right now that you'd like to take advantage of or see a chart on? What questions do you have that relate to, even BNB, guys? I'll tell you this. BNB right now. Let's look at BNB because this is where things start to hit, guys. This is where the Dogecoin effect is starting to hit. Now, it looks like it's kind of hitting a little bit more. This is a big deal for BNB, guys. People are out of BNB. Woo, man. Now, maybe not so much. Why? Because I'm not going to freak out at this. Look what I already have drawn. You guys see what I already have drawn? What I have drawn? I have a Fibonacci, right? I already have my Fibonacci. All right, beautiful, no problem. Look what it hit. Now, I drew this days ago. Look what it's already hit. And it already hit the first level right here. All right, yeah, it already hit that level. I don't have much money in this level, right? Now, as it dips down, did it hit my other level? Let's see. Let's see, did it hit my Fibonacci? Close, close. And I want to adjust this. This is in line with the previous high, unless the inline previous high could be right there. I'll tell you, depending upon where you call your high. I don't like redoing my numbers unless I'm really specifically going to get into the level of kind of an accumulation level, etc. And I can start to get into that here or there. It's difficult. Like, where is the high right now? Because it keeps going up. It becomes difficult at some time. You could argue that it's already retraced from this previous level. It has had such a dynamic level of appreciation. If you wanted to get into something like this and say, all right, why don't we look at like this? The longer that you go further that you go back in time to the previous levels to establish your trend line, I'll tell you guys, the more conservative your being, okay? So that's what you need to understand, the dynamics of your Fibonacci's, understand the dynamics of where that puts you. And this is the level that I like. Let's go further back. Let's be conservative. And what is my rule? I want to establish my trend line, and I just eyeballed that one. I think we were playing a little bit more aggressively on that. As I go in higher up levels on the trend line, I'm playing more aggressively. As I show anything to you, I'm going to show you more conservatively, okay? Now, my rule is I want to show this trend line beginning. My Fibonacci starts in line with this prior high, okay? This prior high. That dotted line is going to go right across that prior high right there. I'm going to bring this up. And what does that tell me? Well, it looks like we have kind of a good dynamic. I'm going to erase this this in the background. We're going to look at just this specific Fibonacci, and I want to analyze. I want to look at, okay, if I'm going to play this. Now, it's having a bite, okay? The Dogecoin is taking a bite out of the overall indexes, the overall coins. As I look at this, I see it dancing along perfectly in this Fibonacci. Okay, so as I follow the rules, become more conservative, it's dancing perfectly within this first level Fibonacci. Look at the levels of support. It's hitting it beautifully. Okay, just perfectly, guys. This is why we use these as pricing targets. Now, I'm going to get in and around this level, put some program order trades in. Now, I have not on BNB. Okay, if I want to accumulate it and I want to plan into this, this kind of puts into context what you're learning about acquisition at lower prices and how that affects your returns. It's not all about the hype. It's not all about all the specificities of just getting excited, everyone throwing and leveraging the cash into it. That's not what we want to do. We want to understand and have a game, kind of a game plan and a framework to, on a disciplined level, acquire more coins at a lower price. That's easy. That's what we do. That's what we do. We use the Fibonacci's to get us there. Looks like you about hit this level as well, and you experienced some price action here. Multiple touches along this line tell me that, yeah, we probably have our trend line drawn correctly. There's 2 hits along this support line, so it makes sense. Now we drop down to the next level of support. That's okay. That's okay. We would expect to see that. That would be our next level of accumulation if we wanted to play BNB. Now, if Dogecoin somehow continues to take cash, and it's a really easy way to do it, it will continue to take money out of people's accounts, and people will just decide, you know what, and it becomes a mass stampede, guys. They'll say, I have to say my BNB, I've been waiting for weeks. I've been waiting for weeks for that thing to develop, right? I can't take that. Look at this. I've been waiting. How long is this? You guys will love this. How long is this? I can't wait this long because BNB had been phenomenal, right? I cannot wait 4 days and 10 hours. I refuse to do it. And it's difficult because what? In the context of a day, you want to go back 4 days and 10 hours and see what Dogecoin has done? And 4 days and 10 hours. And this is what people measure, in 4 days and 10 hours. In 4 days and 10 hours. Let's see. Right here, 4 days and 10 hours, and let me draw from this point. That's 12:21 and 12:21, right on the dot, 100 hours. Okay, in that time basis, you have literally made 417%. So that's the kind of differential analysis people start to do in the comparative analysis, where they look at things and say, well, that's 400%. As opposed to, I can't just say, I'm going to stick in BNB forever. It seems like you're losing money while other people are making money, right? So that's a big deal. Now, it looks like we had some sort of a reset. They just reset some of these figures. But you're comparing 400% to, well, it seems like in the last 4 days, all I've done on BNB is lose money, right? And that's what people start to look at. And they start to make those decisions. So it becomes kind of a mass psychology experiment in terms of, in 4 days, I've lost 18% of my money. That's real money, guys. If you got 100 grand in there, all right, you've lost 20 grand, almost 20 grand. That's real money. So it's one thing to say, well, I have loyalty. I'm just going to stick through this. But the real money starts talking to you when you start experiencing those gains, and you have to delay. The good thing is that as it gets cheaper, we know it's typically a better value. With Dogecoin potentially being a big disruptor right now, and I'm talking about shuffling in tens and tens and tens of billions of dollars in interest, and like fundamentals on the fundamentals in terms of like a beautiful bull pennant. This justifies from a technical standpoint. This is a very strong level, guys. That's why I entered into it last night. And, I don't enter into things lightly. Those of you who know, I don't enter into things lightly. And it's not just because, you guys know, it's not just because I'm a fan of something. It has to work dynamically well with the Fibonacci levels. This has worked well with Fibonacci levels. And it's also, from a technical basis, or a technical basis. From a technical basis, this is just an easy, it's a 1-2 punch. It's just a 1-2 punch. That's it. Right up out of the bull pennant, straight up into. Let me turn this magnet off so I can get you a better picture of that. But it's going to be straight up out of this level, and it just literally, like, what's it got to do? It's got to break out. It's got to reconfirm, and bam, you're out. Or you just make 70% on your money. All right. So the equivalent of, let's say, 50% on your money. It's a easy trade. All right, and with the candles, you got up to about 70% on that. Then you can reaccumulate. You can see what pattern it wants to deliver you next. So that requires a little bit of time. So we have kind of, as you schedule out your days, as you look at things, we have kind of, I won't say in the background at all, because we have our other interests that we are very involved in, that we enjoy very much. A community with Harmony One, for instance. You guys know we're doing a big giveaway for 2,000 Harmony One. Now we're planning on that going to $1. It's got a great team together on it. Look at the price action. You'll love it. We'll show it to you here in a second. And we have a good community. We're putting that together. And look at this stuff. These are the technicals we go over. I'll probably lose some people right now, but look at this. Bitcoin is getting crushed by Dogecoin right now. Literally getting crushed by Dogecoin. This was the chart. This was the predictive analytics we did, and we delivered this before it went down. So that's what we do. These pricing targets are in our Discord. It's one of the most sophisticated rooms you will find on the internet. Tune into that frequency, guys. It has pricing targets. It has movements. It's not hype. We're not yelling at you. We're not being all fancy and crazy on screen. We're not doing that. We're applying essentially the market fundamentals and the financial fundamentals in the software programs and the calculations that we take. And we take a lot of pride in terms of what we do deliver to you. So it's a great group. So you guys enjoy that. And it's a professional tone. So that may not attract all the masses and people going crazy. But as we're trying to maximize our returns, that's fine. If it's a I don't know, if it's a labor of love, maybe we get into it's a labor of love. So let's look at, it looks like they have reset the Dogecoin on the trading view, and they have now said it's just up. It's at 37 cents. So it's kind of stagnating. That's kind of what we expected. It would go to a certain level, and it did it on the candlesticks. This is what gives us a little break in the action. I want you guys to know kind of what happens with the scheduling. You can't do this all day long, right? How are you going to do this all day long and trade all day long? Well, it looks like we're kind of in a consolidation zone. We kind of do a frequency analysis as well, and we say, okay, from the point in time of the previous high, I'm going to say the previous high on over into, let's look at that. It looks like maybe we have another 6 hours. Okay, that's what we had yesterday. On into the evening time to really kind of discuss this. So that's okay. Maybe today will hit in about 6 hours. Let's see if we hit it about 6 hours. What would that be? Let me see here. Let me zoom in. It looks like right about, I don't know, about 2, 3 o'clock. That would be on delivery, on par with when it decided to rumble yesterday. So you guys want some timing. How much time do you have? It looks like, reasonably you have, maybe 7 hours. All right. If it wants to repeat, if this is a program trade, I think it may be. I don't know if you guys understand a program trade. Institutional, like accumulation, patterned influx of massive amounts of cash that you can kind of ride up. So that's important, that you could potentially have your cash work along some heavier amounts of cash. So yeah, that'd put us about 3 o'clock this afternoon. So we have a little bit of time to kind of work on a reacquisition at a lower price. Let it retrace a little bit if it chooses to retrace. Okay, we don't want to buy in at this high level. We don't want to be involved at 45. Okay, we just don't want to be involved at 45 or 44, whatever the max is today. We don't want that. It's great that it reached that. It doesn't look like it's going to have a problem, guys, getting up to where it wants to go. I was going to say that, especially if it continues to stay orderly, it doesn't look like Dogecoin is going to have a problem getting to where it needs to go. I just don't believe it's going to have that problem whatsoever. It doesn't appear that there's any kind of a hesitancy from the buyers. It appears that it is achieving kind of an overall market attention and a grip from investors at high levels, high levels. Guys, billions of dollars of interest. Okay, it's a mass effect. I think there's some major players behind it. Not in addition to Elon Musk, there's probably some other institutional money that's behind this, maybe even on a corporate level that you guys haven't been disclosed who's involved in this on a corporate level and what the plans may be. That's speculation, so don't take that to the bank, but it just seems like there's enough money being kind of transferred around that is very possible. So that's my take on Dogecoin, and I have a holding in here, and I will have another holding right here if it proves to generate the right type of pattern. And that's the difference. As you look at me, as you look at this channel and what we deliver, you may not get all the hype and the pizzazz, okay? You may not get all of that. What you will get is a fundamental look at things. And when this thing breaks down, The difference is if this were to break down out of this channel, please pay attention to this. If this were to break down out of this channel right here, guess where I am? Choo, I'm gone. Very quickly, very, very quickly. Okay, that doesn't mean I won't pick it back up, right? That doesn't mean I won't pick it back up at all if it represents an opportunity to make money, if it's a good thing to trade. And I tell you guys, this is a market. You guys know that, but this is a trading market. This is a market for traders. You bought in at some point. I hope you base that on something. If you just decided to acquire it, oh, that's okay. But you have an account. And you're telling people which exchange you're on and this and that. So you're part of that dynamic. You're part of that trading dynamic, and we are too. We enjoy that. So let's see if Dogecoin wants to continue to perform. It's going to form its own pattern. In the meantime, let's look at again that let's look at back at Twitter. See if we have any new faces to go ahead and say hello to. Looks like we do. You guys can search us at Twitter and follow us. Dazman, that's nice. Dazman. Look at the Kingdom. Go ahead with the Kingdom and type in go that in your search box. Scroll down to go to the Kingdom. We'll inform you. For instance, we have a giveaway of 2,000 Harmony One coins, and that is a good thing. A giveaway of 2,000 Harmony One coins going to be given away tomorrow. So we'll try and stream live and give that information to you. And sounds like we have some dogs that are upset by some people in the pool. So that's okay. That may be an event that we can enjoy. Usually that's also a signal that it's time for me to go jogging. I like to work out. Make sure you take care of your own bodies. If you're working real hard on these trades and on this specific application, this is the place that you will learn. Guys, you will learn strategies for maximizing your returns. And I mean, everybody wants to have gotten in at 5 cents. Well, we can work on that. I guarantee you we can work on that. We can maximize your trades. We can get into the equivalent of you having worked in at 5 cents on this. That's no big deal. That should be easy. You should easily be able to do that on this. If this continues to be a structured event that we can predict like this, and this was a clear structured event last night that we entered into at a light level. I'll tell you, a light level. Depending, that may differ according to kind of what the level of your overall investment interest is made capable by your holdings. So yeah, that's if you want it to be as if you got in at 5 cents, you can accomplish that with your trading strategy. So that is kind of what we're involved in. Let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have. Let's see. What we got? I'm going to look at your comments right now. If you guys have any specific questions on Dogecoin, or you have any specific questions on let's see, Harmony One, you guys just let me know, and let's get into the different questions. Let's kind of traverse back to something like a Harmony One. Today it's really all about Dogecoin. I got to give it, and we all have to kind of give it to Dogecoin, whether or not you like it or not. I mean, it's a phenomenal price action. So it's the truth. I mean, that's it. Today the market phenomenon is about Dogecoin. Now, while it's hot, we can bring up the notion that maybe some of these other investment concerns may be a little bit hotter tomorrow. All right, we don't know. We don't know how long Dogecoin can keep this up. People are very excited about it. They're saying, and the thing is, you're getting into the point right now where it has burned some individuals who have decided to kind of pepper play and get out or get in or get out and have not worked on charts, etc. Over the last few days, if you got out of Dogecoin, you're very sorry that you got out. I'll tell you that. If you weren't in, you probably, you can say you don't like something. Don't base everything on culture. If it's an opportunity to make money, hey man, look at the chart. Don't worry about it. If it's a different symbol, just look at the chart. And I'm not betraying any community at all. Harmony One is still bread and butter right here. That's my trading floor. That's not going to change at all. I love trading Harmony One. I will along whatever it decides to do. That's my baby. I love trading Harmony One. You look at we got into some different levels here this morning. This was just kind of a mess we put together, but I was messing with some different dynamics in terms of where it was specifically headed. So we can clean this up real quickly. You guys, there are some different dynamics that you probably don't work with on your charts that can let you know where things are headed. Okay, so it looks like we may have hit a support line here. I'd like to see that. Did we get another one of our support lines? It looks like we did at this level. It looks like we have come into a predetermined kind of support line. I want to see what has gone on with this, and it looks like it's still in a kind of a downward trend. Most of these may be in a downward trend today until they hit significant levels, okay? This significant level is probably going to be about 13 cents right now. I would anticipate that if Harmony One or these other people want to kind of collapse their recent gains, and you're probably going to be okay. And whatever else you hold, you should have, as you collapse your gains and you reach a different kind of different level of support on the overall aggregate. If you are up, or if you're in kind of a retracement, you should be kind of okay. You should be at least, I won't say okay in relation to kind of a market phenomenon. Like Dogecoin right now, it's just going to continue to outperform. I believe that for the near future. But everything can surprise you, so it may be a great time for you to get involved in some other investment instruments. Can you get a bargain on anything? That's always the thought process. Can you make a good entry so that you don't have to say, well, I'll trade back to something? And by that I mean, well, I didn't get in, I didn't get in Microsoft at $2, or I didn't get in Dogecoin, or I didn't get in into Harmony One at like 0.002 cents. It's okay. Well, you don't have to necessarily always trade back to that point. You can go find some bargains right now, maybe some bargains on the board. So let's see, golden, golden pocket. Yeah, that's nice. Join our 2000 Harmony giveaway. That is very nice. That's very nice. I like that. I appreciate that. Shout out to Yoski. Yoski is in the house. We're going to go ahead and pin that message to the top. You guys, there's 94 people in here. I'm going to tell you, out of that pinned message in the Discord on top, 2,000. You worry about getting in at a better price and making some money. There's going to be 2,000 Harmony One coins that are given away, and you can do with those what you like. We hope you become a holder if you want to start to trade them or whatever you start to do. That's a significant amount of Harmony One coins. That's not like current price is what is it? Is 14 cents. So that's a 14-cent coin, and 2,000 of those. That's not too bad, guys. That's 2,000. Let's see. 2,000 times 0.14. That's all right. That's $280 worth of Harmony One. I would say, yeah. Go ahead and sign me up. Why don't you guys go ahead and check out our Twitter? Okay, our Twitter has the instructions. All you have to do is follow the announcement. It's real easy. Follow the announcement, and to get to that, that's $200. Okay, that's real easy. And shout out to everybody who made that possible. Shout out to Yosuke, shout out to Red Raider, shout out to everybody. Get on this Go to the Kingdom, and you guys can accumulate that. If you win that prize, and it'll be easy. We just gave some away previously. Go to the Kingdom off the drop-off box here on Twitter, and go ahead and sign up, and we'll be able to kind of funnel you through to that giveaway. That's exciting. Thank you, Yosuke. I appreciate that. We have put that on the top, and that's our Discord server. So go ahead and get involved in that. I think some people just took off to go do that from the chat room here, so that's good. Our numbers dwindle whenever we talk about the. It's funny because there's only 88 people in here. Well, we keep talking about things that people want to go and do, like they want to be part of the giveaway. Well, they go to the giveaway, So while I bring something up like that, and we'll lose probably 20 people or 30 people at a time. I'll bring up the Twitter, and they go to Twitter. Well, they go to Discord. So I wind up, with a core group that's already, I guess established in those different in those giveaways and everything else like that. But it's kind of funny to watch the numbers go up and down. That's why I just encourage people, like if you're new or you just shown up, go ahead and hit the thumb up, because we do have 80 people in here, and it'd be nice to know, yes, you guys are involved in the market. Yes, you want to learn about market fundamentals. You're interested, or otherwise, at least you appreciate the efforts that we're doing. We would appreciate that, so we can get it out, get the giveaway out to more people. Kind of your way of supporting other people's potential for winning. Now, if you're not supporting, you're not thumbs upping because you're already entered, I want to tell you that's crafty. But I see your angle there. You don't want other people to watch this show at all because you want to win that. Nah, I don't want that. You guys, we gotta spread the joy here. Get involved with it's kind of I don't like that approach. I can understand how you might want to do that, but go ahead and hit that like button so more people hear about it, man. That'll drive more people. We'll have more giveaways. That's a bottom line there. Go ahead and be a little more friendly than that. Come on. Now what we have. Sideways consolidation, meeting a price target, everything looking fine. Not really worried about Harmony One right now. We have scheduled accumulation at lower levels. We know what we're doing, and we know what's going on with Harmony One. I guess the bottom line is, look at this real quickly, and you guys want to know, well, retracements, well, this and that. Are you talking a bunch of fancy things, claim to be a financial professional? Yeah, I guess I did. I really did. I guess I really did like $1 billion equity fund deal with Harvard. That's just me. That's the whole degree and the whole everything, and a little bit of success here and there. A young age, and that's me. That's me. Now, what does this do, guys? This will just prove the Fibonacci to you. This is not me. This is just the Fibonacci. I draw the Fibonacci on here. What hits perfectly? Well, they came down and they picked up these orders. All right, they decided to come down and pick up whatever orders were here at this level, this retracement level. All this is a retracement of the 78.6% of the total action. People have had all kinds of action in and around here. And let's look at the let's just turn in the candles, because let's not look at exactly where things are or are not. What we have done is we've reached down into this zone. Previous here too, people made about 20%. News came out, I think people made about 15%. Before then, people made about 30%. So you start stacking these percentages, and people who are trading this is why I say, guys, this is a trading channel. This is a trading beast here. This Harmony One, we like to trade it, okay? We like to limit orders. We're going to buy it at this level, sell at this level, all right, at this specified price zone. Now, we did hit, and we did a double hit last time, okay? We did a double hit last time at this level. And on low volume, we kind of went up and escalated into that. I'll be interested to see if we do hit. There was kind of a little bit more volume last time. It looks like it's a little bit lighter in here. So that's understandable. That's fine. You had just had a recent event. That may have kind of evaporated this level of support in terms of your price action. And I discussed that previous here too. If you guys would go ahead and thank you, Red Raider, for timing these people out. I appreciate that if they're not paying attention. Sloppy Joe in the house. Hey, no problem. Hey, welcome, Sloppy Joe. I appreciate that. You guys are the men. Let's do some shout outs here. I don't care if people want to leave for a shout out. That defies the purpose if you don't want to be shouted out to. Let's see what we have. Stack that one, they're saying. Noah Maxwell, Harmony One will have its day in the sun. I kind of believe that. Super bullish. A lot of people putting heavy money into Harmony One right now, guys. Hundreds of thousands of dollars into Harmony One. It's been exciting to watch that develop. Good news recently. It's good news. It's nice to watch people with Dogecoin make a lot of money. Recovering slowly. American Diesel. Let's see, that's good. Joanna, shout out. Dimitri, Flo, everybody, just shout out to you. We have our group. That's one thing I'll say. We kind of have our, hey, core divisions company, what's going on? Let's see. Pushing different coins in the chat. You guys going through different things. ADAV chain. Will Bitcoin crash? That's a good question, Yuvaraj. Good question. Will Bitcoin crash? Ooh, Elron. Let's look at that. Let's pull up Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. Let's see whether or not it's going to crash. Now, that's about what I anticipated. Well, that's a nice little recovery. Nice recovery. Now, I had pulled up and I had put two differentials on here from just kind of a chop shop approach I had done previously. And I had not published this to anyone, just in my own Discord server. But I put kind of the height of this going on the way down here, and I made this more symmetrical before I put it on the server. But yeah, this is the negative price action I anticipated. It's exactly what was achieved. If you had shorted this or just waited to get a better price, you probably did very well. If you trade that on leverage, you did very well. I don't recommend people do that who don't understand the market. It can be dangerous. Now, what I would see here, let's go ahead and erase this. We don't have to erase it. Let's get into this is going to be interesting for you guys to see. It's a good question. We have to understand what's kind of being concocted or what's being forced upon. I just say the larger coin. This is the largest coin that we have. What do we want to do here? Connected impulse wave, head and shoulders. I mean, I don't use this tool very frequently. If we do a head and shoulders, and it's going to give it to us like this. If we were to get into some kind of a head and shoulders, you guys understand you have on your trading view, you have a head and shoulders. Y'all know that you have a head and shoulders pattern that you can trade in and you can form that. I hope you know that. At least you know that now. You have a tool in TradingView that you can use. People will draw that out. You have an actual head and shoulders pattern that you can use in TradingView. So that's part of the reason you guys are here, so that you can learn stuff like that. Let's remove some of this stuff. Oops. Let's get into some of these details so that you can see that we may be in for a little bit of a head and shoulders. I don't know if we are. If this is our max and you want to know what can turn this thing around to the downside, it would be a pattern like a head and shoulders. All right. And why did we go there? Well, we went there because we saw, now, market's kind of dumping. Everything's kind of going, temporarily kind of going into Dogecoin, 200% up. We had a good trade this morning on that with a bull pennant that we saw and couldn't pass it up. So we went ahead and took that opportunity. Now, with the head and shoulders, this is something that you can essentially look at, and it can define kind of, it typically is a very bearish pattern, guys, very bearish. You're going to push the market into kind of a downside. Let's adjust these down. Let's get down into the real kind of neckline versus the shoulder line. You can have some discussions about, what really, where exactly really are you headed with your head and shoulders. So it's a little bit of a kind of an off top there, but that's the typical head and shoulders that we would be looking at. Now, what we need for that to occur, and we can kind of make these shoulders, we can either broaden them out or we can make them a little bit more narrow here, okay? We can have them encompass these two spots here. That's no problem. It's not going to affect the projection. And we can see whether or not this, we make this more narrow to see whether or not this one is going to develop in and around this zone. Okay, we don't want to make it this tight necessarily. I just said we don't want to make it that tight. It's probably too narrow to trade. But when we have kind of a dual dynamic here and here, we might have enough to kind of say, especially within this, so we would expect probably something, the equivalent, the symmetrical equivalent out here. We can match up the lines, and along here, make sure the right shoulder and the left shoulder match up. And the good thing about some of the tools in the advanced premium package of and I think maybe the standard package, maybe, of TradingView, and this is that program that Binance, all the big exchanges, will give you. You have to know how to use it, okay? When I say I know how to use this, I'm an industry professional for years. Just in finance in general, guys. I worked on big finance deals and investment packages, big stuff. So with this lines out for you. This is the kind of stuff that we want to look at, because this lines out. This actually says right shoulder. This says head. This says left shoulder, right? So this is the information that you can get in terms of a diagnostic that you can run to where we do have kind of a left shoulder right here, left shoulder exactly there, let's say. We have a head exactly there. We are kind of forcing back up, unless we go to the upside, which we may, but it looks like we may be trying to form also kind of a head and shoulders, which could be a very bearish scenario. And I was asked the question, would it crash? The one thing that could put it into a tailspin on the downside would be a pattern like a head and shoulders, given the fact that it's just shown some recent upward trajectory right here. So given that upward trajectory that is just evidenced right here by a little bit recoupment, okay, took a little bit of a leg up, a little bit of recoupment. It's showing the potential for moving up into what we would call, kind of a precursor to the fulfillment of that right shoulder. Again, a bearish pattern, and a bearish pattern that can send this thing down. If we want to know kind of from the neckline, and I'll just say, I've done this a few different times with a few different patterns on this. I'm going to call it about the midway of this, and don't hold me to this because I've balanced this projection out based upon the two, and I would want to get really laser-eyed in terms of my, laser focused. And I don't want to mention 55,000, right? I don't want to mention that, right? But what does that do? Well, 55,000 would equal, okay, as we look at this, $55,000 is exactly the previous trading channel, kind of that level of support of the previous trading channel. So as you look at that, yeah, it's kind of making some sense. You can see where this thing's going. And hopefully that is a level of support that Bitcoin can enjoy if it needs to. The dynamic gains and some of the other investment instruments, i.e. Dogecoin, i.e. some other stuff. I'll tell you, Harmony One's been very well negatively correlated with Bitcoin, so that may be an issue. But you'll see if I take the size of this head, okay, this head portion, and it's labeled right shoulder, left shoulder, the head. This is the head. These are two shoulders. You see how that works. If I take this distance, essentially this up to the neckline, and I just place it here, and we did this before we looked at the calculation below. Oh, what do we run into? Oh yeah, we run into exactly that $55,000 mark. That $55,000 mark is essentially the previous support. It may want to revisit this and see whether or not that's a good distinct level or layer. And I'll tell you, the extent to which this would want to form even a larger head and shoulders, I'll tell you, if it chose to do that and go up and around here and flirt with this being the left shoulder, this being the top of the head, and then us making a right-hand shoulder like that, if it were to flirt with that, then I would talk, you would be in a scenario for a crash, okay? If you're playing around just kind of a damsel in here, a dime a dozen, just I say a damsel, just, I think of a kind of a damsel in distress, kind of this is just a small, I'd say a small pattern which could show some short term kind of, disruption or something like that. It could go down. Oh, that's a frequency we don't like. It's kind of a bad vibe. You're into some distress at 55,000. It's currently at, 61,000. So that'd be kind of in distress. If it were to form this overall larger pattern, and if it were to bounce in and around here and it wanted to revisit cranking through here, well then guys, I'm going to tell you, then you're beyond that. You're into kind of like, it's a potential Hiroshima event, a potential Hiroshima where everyone wants to run for the hills. So let's hope that doesn't happen, because if that happens, and you want to know about, and I won't even draw that, I would draw that there on the way down, guys. If that were to occur, you're looking at, and it's just negative price action in place. That would be, let's go ahead and just, I might just do this like this. That would essentially be, let me make sure that I have that scheduled out just to give you a pricing target of what the charts are telling us. You're going to be looking at something more in line with this, all right? That would be after the completion of this right-hand shoulder. So these are two kind of crash course on what this crash would be. And what do we hit? You guys see how this works? This is perfect, guys. Pay attention to this. This is where you learn, Horizontal line. What do we hit? Almost perfectly in and around this previous, and again, I want to get the scalpel out. I want to get in detailed there. We can probably adjust that almost perfectly. Let's see if it does adjust perfectly, because it's close enough. And it may be an approximation, or it may be, it's going to not want me to do this exactly. So let me see if I can get real close to it. And I'd want to bring out the candles versus the line chart versus everything, Let's get into this, Now, this from this area here is going to be, it's going to be, and it may be a little bit overextended from where it was before. I'm running up to about the same number. It may be a little bit over, but what you're running into is a previous level of support, a previous significantly supported level, which this was the equivalent to just a major support concern. Buyers jumped in, their commitment level to the upside in and around was this 46. I remember I took a large position in and around this area, so I was one of those buyers with a heavy commitment level in and around this with Bitcoin, and I rode that up. It was a nice ride on the way up. I enjoyed that, but I took one of those heavy commitment levels along with the market there. That's a heavy commitment level where people may get back to if this were to turn into a head and shoulders on the way down, and that's going to feel like a big reset to the market. So not necessarily saying that is going to happen, but that is a crash scenario. Anything can happen. It's going to depend on what some companies decide to do, how much attention it can continue to kind of muster in terms of orchestrating some additional, hopefully very positive, I'll say positive, market gains in the future. I have a position in Bitcoin, and that's kind of the analytics that you can go through. The smaller head and shoulders on the top, potential drop down to this level of support at 55. The overall patterning of a larger head and shoulders, which could be at least to this level of 46. And this gets you to 46 in a rational way. You can understand it and backdate it to a key level of support. It's not just a hypothetical. That's something that you can look at rationally, at least looking laterally and vertically at the price action of what we've experienced recently. That's relatively recently. That's within the last, let's say, month or so. So that's good price action. We enjoy that. Let's take a look at Doge. It's about at 30. Now it's backed off from its, this is a huge red candle. This is why what? This is why we're involved at what? At a very light level, So it's just come in with a huge red candle. Does that affect me? Not at all, What does that do? That gives me an opportunity to pick up more at a better cost if I so choose. So Doge is now down 20%, It has a habit of doing this to people. Now what's it going to do? It's probably going to wash some people out, right? It's going to wash some people out. It's a red candle. It's throwing itself down. Now guess what? What did I make this morning? Well, I entered in right around here with an exit strategy, bam, and what did I want? I wanted, and I told you guys, the difference between holding through this entirety versus what can you capture. The whole strategy is what can you capture? Is the price going to get down here? You get thrilled about this process. You believe you have to get involved at the higher levels. It's only going up. We have to get involved here. No, we just pepper in at the top. Just a light amount of money, maybe $100. In here, all right, great. We think it's going to continue to go up. We're going to throw in a greater amount of money here. Maybe double that amount, maybe 200. Well, in here, maybe we're going to double that whole amount, 600. And it's a double down, triple down approach. It's what some of the major players in Wall Street and investment arenas, it's what they do, So that is the function that we are approaching it with is we want to get in heavier at a lower level. Okay, we believe in the retracement functions here, and we know they work. If you want to pull this down, I guess technically if you're all the way down to my entry point, these candles match up very well because they mix that, or they hit that bottom line retracement. I don't want to necessarily redraw things all day. I don't do that except for you to understand a different way you could have drawn it. The proper way that I like to draw them is including the previous high, and I like to draw them typically, it kind of gets into what you've learned, what you've been taught, and what the appropriate rationale is. I like to do it on the lines, okay? I like to do it on the lines. That's just it. So you can take it to the line, okay? And it doesn't look like that much of a move. If we take it to the line, it's like, okay, well, it's down now to the golden pocket. That's essentially what the line is at, aside from the aberrant pickups of the orders. Now, the market maker may be dancing all around this thing to create volume, create interest, okay? He may be doing that. I was just down to 30. Now it's up to 33, guys. So this thing's moving around like hotcakes. In terms of your orders, they may get filled at different levels. Why would you purposely put an order in, unless you're trapped into it, when you could have a buy order, a limit order, that literally just went 10% in what was that? In 2 seconds? Maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds? It literally just adjusted 10% in that time period. The market maker is picking up all kinds of stuff in this. It's a chaotic, heavy volume kind of day for Dogecoin, and that's what that's what we're going to see. That's typical. So why would we not put a limit order in at a lower price? You can pepper it along with, if you want to discipline yourself and say, yeah, okay, at a different kind of level, I'll be involved at a different at a different amount. At the higher extreme prices, I have no demand. It's very easy to say at the lower prices, I have a lot of demand, okay? So there, we just saw an example exactly in line with what I taught everybody, exactly what I taught everybody this morning, which is, yeah, right here, we have a tremendous amount of demand, right? And look what the market maker did. What'd he do? Well, he saved us. Yeah, he saved us 34% on this entry price at this lower level. So no one can tell me, I can tell you guys, I mean, if you'd like to critique the overall strategy on the accumulation based on Fibonacci retracements, you can. But what did we just do? Well, we just saved 34%. We just made another 34% essentially with an opportunity cost approach. Now, what does that do? Remember that 400% that we're off here? We really wish we had gotten in around here at 13 cents. Yeah, well, picking up 30%, guys, that's like making 30%. You have to understand it puts you in a better position. Your cost basis is that much lower. You're maximizing, you're realizing this entire gain. All right, you're going to stack on top, literally. You're going to start saying, well, I just made this amount of a gain, all right, and I exited. It was very predictable. I just made that amount of a gain on this trade. All right, let's stack that right there. Very good. Now, I'm entering here, okay, and yeah, what's your next gain going to be? If your next gain is there within a different frequency basis, you're going to start stacking these, all right? It's going to start looking like you're definitely, you're gonna get to the multiple approach on this to where the overall price action is going to deviate a little bit. Your stacked gains are literally going to start looking like this, that they're going to outpace the regular price action of the market. Okay, that's the idea when you trade. Well, we have 2 events. Well, I have 3. I have 3 events to your 2 events. You're going to start exceeding. This is called alpha. Okay, when you look at alpha, yay, bravo, we got to alpha. This whole notion is called alpha. Okay, it is the percentage by which, generally on the overall market index, what you're able to achieve in excess of the standardized market gains. Okay, this would be alpha over Doge, regular Doge returns. How are you able to trade Doge and make returns in excess of the standardized returns that Doge is offering you? And when you work on alpha, where there's 2 events right here, okay, I want 3. In this, I want to trade it well enough to where I have the equivalent of 3, I have 3 particular frequency events, and that's the equivalent of my gains. These are your gains, fine. These are my gains. That's alpha, the percentage or the degree to which you're able to capitalize over the standard market action. Okay, that's alpha. This portion in here, everything over, and I'll just tell you, everything that is in excess over this amount right here, everything that's captured in here is alpha. This is all standardized returns. That's in line with the market. Everything over it that you achieve, that's alpha. And as you start to look at that's an alpha return. That's the dynamic of the that's the terminology of the industry. Okay, you'll see alpha here and there. That's the standard of the industry. That's the terminology used. So understand that, yeah, as you start to do this, it doesn't really matter when you get in. You get in here, you get in here. As you start to have these events, and you can achieve alpha. You can achieve this. All right, well, that's the equivalent of you got in here. I tell you, you guys got in. We got in. I just tell you, I got in at this level right here. All right. So essentially, as I construct another one of these alphas in here, that's the equivalent of me getting in. Right about this level. Yeah. Essentially, you get to the point where you've already done it, right? So that's you've already gotten in. That's just the kind of the I'd say the vertical price difference that we're able to re-achieve through kind of capitalizing on an investment strategy. It's not easy. Okay, it's just not easy, but it requires discipline, approach. It requires knowing what you're doing, and not everyone is built to do this all day long. It takes a different kind of a powerhouse approach, and not people do trade though. People enjoy trading, so that's what we enjoy doing. We like people that trade. We're spending enough time with this anyway. We might as well get into it and do it the right way. To the extent that we can, as much as we can. It's not ever easy. I won't say that. Let's see. Yeah, we got Yoski with the pump it up. You've got to pump it up. That's great. You guys know that song? I don't know if you know that song. Someone should drop that in the chat. This is just so we have the Go Alpha discussion, guys. That's the Go Alpha on how you can achieve your returns. That's phenomenal. Hey, Yoski with the link to his Twitter. Much thanks to Yoski. That's great, Yoski. And Red Raider and everybody else. You may want to send them the link to the Twitter feed on my site, on the Kingdom site. Let's see if anyone has joined up on our deal. Slow day on Twitter. We got 8 followers. It looks like 8 new followers. Some different plays. Hey, all done. I appreciate that, Maxine. Shout out to you. Looks like Maxine is in the house. She is done. She's confirmed. She's signed up for Harmony One. We love that. We love that. That's phenomenal. And it looks like, look at all these new people we got. Shout outs on Twitter. Look at new shout outs, people that are deciding to get involved in this new Kingdom giveaway, this Crypto Kingdom, the 2000 Harmony One. That's what, about $300, something like that? That's good. If that thing gets up to $1, it's like a $2,000 giveaway. It could be. That's really good. Kaz, shout out to you. We got Carolina, we got Corey, we got all these guys from Elbridge to Clancy, Carolina Vieira. That's a nice last name. I like that. Antidote. What's up, Antidote? I like that. That's very cool. Jack, Carlos, OTRL, Waffle.1. I think we got some of these. Descript.1. New Noi. Nice to have you here. Lyle Serrano, Cornell. What's up, Cornell? Creativity Silent. Eric.1. Mark Preston. A lot of traders we got in here. I know that. I know that's right. Adnan, Guy Fresco, and what else do we have? Just a bunch of good guys. Guy Fresco, Adnan, Zeb, and Nico. That's good. You guys were on the retweet list. I appreciate that. I know you guys are on the follow list as well because that's part of you signing up. We got 34 new people following us. We got another 21 that just signed up for the giveaway. Guys, that's good news. It's going well, and it's going to be great action in terms of Saturday is going to be that giveaway. We have a great boosted server on Discord. Follow the instructions, and you'll find them on that Twitter page, and you'll have a good time, all right? And I know that you want a good community. You want a group that has a solid foundation and some smarts. And in terms of the analysis we bring on Bitcoin, you may be a heavy Bitcoin trader. Welcome to the club. Okay, it's what we like to do. But we focus on the fundamentals and we try not to waste our time on all of the micro levels in here. But so you guys to know, I don't think I've seen anyone on the entirety of the entire space in YouTube ever bring up an actual head and shoulders pattern as is available on TradingView. Not one person has ever brought that up anywhere. And you have guys throwing around millions of dollars in cash and they're drawing squiggly lines, doing all this different stuff. Like, look, it has a built-in function. We know the program. We know trading software. This is just regular stuff. And not to harp on anybody, but we have to know the programs. We have to know well enough the programs. It just can't be a fancy diamond dance and all this stuff. No, we have to be very detailed. It equates to that alpha I just talked about. We want that alpha. Okay, my hedge fund had to deal with alpha, heavily on alpha. Okay, that's what we focus on. We are alpha. That's what we look at. The gains in excess. It's nice to make money. Great. Dogecoin's going up 200%. Great. We want to make 250%. Okay, that's how we focus, and it doesn't have to be like that. You can listen to the fundamentals, but if you like it, trading, at least you can get in at a price that we would probably get in at. Look at getting in at, and that's going to be up to you. You seek your own financial advice, of course. you know, you don't need the disclosure, but that's what we look at is the alpha, right? That's what we want to do. So we're going to move from the hourly to the 15 minutes, and let's kind of watch this thing dance along. If we get into because it's a hot issue, you know, let's look at the 5 minutes. Maybe go to the 1 minute. Let's see if it wants us to do the 3 minutes. How about that? It gets a little much, doesn't it? You know, it's like the 1 minute. Yeah, it's like, you know, do you want to watch a snail crawl across the floor? You can. It can be really exciting if you get a magnifying glass. Maybe you want to watch that snail crawl across the floor. I don't know. It's like a snail race. I'm not into that all the time, so I try and chill out from that. We try and have a good time. We have a good sense of humor and some good guys that have done well enough in the market that they're not worried about different dynamics. Looks like on the candles here we did retrace down into this, and this is going to take the bite out of people, huh? There's people trading this very heavily, right? You know, this is nice to see because they hit that 0.78% retracement, and it looks like it's stuck. You know, it looks like bam, they really hit that one, huh? Now that's going to be a different approach, okay, a different approach than this beautiful this beautiful bull pennant. That is not the beautiful bull pennant. I hope that didn't have to do with my trade at all. I'm going to say that because we went in. I went in relatively heavy. Just say for me, whatever that means. Heavy around this area to ride this up, and whatever price action was generated after I was there and coordinated my own trade. I hope that had nothing to do with me. I trust that it didn't. It's a multi-billion-dollar concern. We have seen things flip around with hundreds of billions of dollars before, and it's probably just that we're on target. Is all I'll say. We're probably very on target. So those things happen. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at kind of a mess. That's on the 15 minutes. I'm not gonna save the day or ruin it on a 15-minute day chart. That's just not gonna work. Probably gonna pull back, and let's go to the 1 hour, and let's go to if we can try and take a step back to the 1 hour and try and get into a line chart, something that makes a little bit of sense, okay? Yeah, something like that can make a little bit of sense. Now, it would be nice, I say this, it'd be nice if it wants to pull up. If it wants to pull up here and it gets into kind of y'all want to see another bull pennant. I think that'd be very nice. Now, we're going to have to disregard those candlesticks. And let's look at the previous price action as we look at how good of a bull pennant this was. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Textbook. You know, textbook. Yeah, that is textbook bull pennant. That's beautiful, right? Look at that. Support. Beautiful flagpole, everything. That's just nice. Now we have a circumstance where it looks a little bit choppier, doesn't it? It's coming into formation. I'll say into the formation, and I don't know the extent to which it's trying to do something like this. It may be trying to do something like this, but we don't want to wind up, ruining the chart through what we think it could turn into. It could be trying to do some sort of a flag, an abbreviated step down flag. It may be trying to do something like this. It fell off awful hard, and that's fine. Let it recover. Give it a little time. Let it work its way up in here. It may be a beautiful contact up and around this area, and we decide, hey, there we go, and yeah, that looks about right. We're forming up into this area, or we may decide whatever it is. We may decide this may be an outlier, whatever we decide in terms of our risk appetite and how aggressive we choose to go. If we choose to go again, we're going to want to see a good pattern if we go again. And, just for the record, the trade from this morning maximized out at 76%. So that's nice for us. Some people, if you can double your money in a day, that's fantastic. The trade from this morning, from last night to this morning, entry upon the breakout of this bull pennant that we saw was 76%, okay? And that's realizable. That's well, how do you know your price target? Well, the price target was the easiest part, guys. That was the easiest part, okay? That's what we're the best at. Literally, that's what we're the best at. Is just using the software, and I'd like to be one of the best people using the trading software. That's fine, but yeah, you're in and around that zone right there, to where at least you captured. Let's just say this: you captured, depending upon your order, between 65 and 70%. Okay, 65 and reasonably 70%, 65 to 75%. As you saw that candle just continue to go up. You kind of, if you were pre-ordered and program traded into it, 65, 70%. So we'll look at our sheets later as we, do that and get away from this channel, but bring you the live streams of the investment approaches that work, trying to accumulate more at the lower levels. We do not want to buy. I have this Fibonacci in here. It's a retracement, because we don't want to just program automatically buy everything we have into it, make a decision, and yeah, I'm going to leverage the I'm going to leverage the whole 20 grand, the whole, 50 grand, the whole 500, whatever that amount is for you. It could be a million, it could be 10 million, or it could be $10. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to leverage everything into it right now. Well, why don't we allow it to retrace? And that's exactly what it has done. We have more money. Personally, the strategy goes, we have more money available at the lower levels. This keeps us patient amidst a bull run, okay? But a bull rampage, okay? If it's turning into a bull rampage, I hope it doesn't necessarily. I hope it gives us consistent action like this. And again, I would prefer it to be within something that is defined very well, like something that's technically sound, okay? Technically sound like a bull pennant. Beautiful formation. This one, whatever this turns into, and I said it would develop, it's been a little bit chaotic, okay? It's been a little bit chaotic. That's okay. We'll see. We'll still allow that to develop, and we may get into a standpoint where we are, looking. I want to see the frequency interval here, and that, when I say that, I mean the duration of time. The duration of time is about 7 hours, okay? Now that's from the kind of I'm going to say that that base of what we have pulled over, that's one thing I can pull into here right now. I'm going to say this is going to be the start of that 7-hour period, okay? So yeah, again, I'm at 3 o'clock this afternoon. I'd like to see some action on this by about 3 o'clock this afternoon. And definitely by then, some formation. That's about 3 hours from now, 3 hours and 15 minutes from now. That's Central Standard Time, Chicago. I'm in Texas, but we were in the Chicago time zone. But that 3 o'clock time zone, 3 o'clock time frame is about the deadline within which it's told us it wants to behave. So it wants to behave itself and probably work itself to the upside. So we're in at this level. I just say we're in at this level based upon the calculations at a heavier level, and now it's an overall level that's still very reasonable. It's just peppering in some money in here, guys. Peppering in a little cash, playing with the routine, making it good enough to where, yeah, we double the money. That's a nice hand. We'll play that hand, double the money. We'll bank 50% on that. That's nice. So that's kind of the investment approach that we do take. And I just say me and probably the people that I learned it from. So that's fine. Not you necessarily, just me and the people I learned it from. So I learned all this from someone. So I appreciate those teachers I've had along the way. If you would think that you'd like to learn, we do have some classes that are kind of going on, some different stuff. You can contact me. Anyone who's interested, you can probably email me at thekingdom@mail.com. That's my email. If you need to email me, thekingdom@mail.com. So that's about the truth. Now, what is this? Here we go. And now we've got the big players. I got to say, we have the big players that are on right now on YouTube. Everyone wants to talk about Dogecoin, right? That's fine. They can. And I hope they're telling everybody about how to get involved with it at a reasonable level. If they're not talking about how to get involved in it at a reasonable level or what they're going to do, guys, you have some of the top-notch guys in the world right now with the most influence that are literally peeling off new things about pumping the Dogecoin price and pumping the Bitcoin price and whether or not they're correlated to this and that. You guys have a much better approach right now because you are not stuck in the middle of this entire section, right? So, essentially, you have a grounded kind of level here. You have a good framework of strategy. So, I don't know. That's a big deal. They're talking about alarm signals all over YouTube. Okay, that's a big deal. They're beginning to ring the alarm bells on this. So I had gone through the XRP. You guys understand. We had gone through the XRP. That circumstance in 2018 where, those were the alarm bells with XRP. And let's see what we have. What we have in 2018. Let's just look at what we have. Where do we get to this? Let me go to the 5-year on XRP. This killed the market in 2018, guys. Look at the timing on the convergence divergence of coin market cap. This killed the entire market. XRP did. And the alarm bells that people are talking about, there are alarm bells. Maybe they're saying right now throughout the channels, and I'm looking at that, and I'm bringing that information to you while I am discussing these other issues. Okay, so while we're discussing these issues online, this huge rampage to the upside, uncontrollable, guys. This uncontrollable trajectory, massive amounts of price velocity, just massive amounts of appreciation in price over a very restricted time period. It crashed the market. This was the dog that did it, okay? This was the bad dog back then. I don't know if Doge is going to be a bad dog or a good dog. We'll see. as we look at this price increase, we're kind of looking at Dogecoin and whether or not that's going to do the same exact thing. That's kind of a that's kind of a big concern. You guys know that, that's not a big deal. It's just right now it looks kind of controlled. That's okay. If it starts to go up 50% and 50% and 50% every day, 100% and 100%, if it starts to do that and crank through $1 and $2 and $3 and $4, I mean, guys, the market capitalization of the entire market can only sustain so much. If there's a run, it's kind of like a negative run at the bank. It's like everybody going to take the money out. So it's kind of good that we have this pullback for a minute from this 45 figure, this 45 cents, all the way down to it hit down to 30 cents, guys. Okay, so 45 down to 30, guys, that's a big loss on your money, right? If you just stayed in there, guys, that's a lot of money you lost, right? That's 35% you just ate up out of like a gain of like, probably 60%, right? So you guys have to be careful of this stuff. You have to be able to trade this stuff and know exactly where you're headed and spend the time on that. I want you guys to make sure you spend the time on that. That's very critical, very, very critical. So a lot of people talking about taking the chips off the table, okay, right now with Bitcoin. A lot of people taking the chips off the table. That's a big deal as people discuss how this is going to affect. Now, the Dogecoin, again, this XRP move, and kind of repeating from the 2018 into this current situation. Now, what we're going to say is that the big guys are now discussing Dogecoin. They're now discussing that in terms, kind of the price appreciation. No one can ignore this. It is the if we look at can we look at the daily candles on this? Let's see if we can look at the daily candles. Let's see. Yeah, it's been 500%, right? You guys know that. We're looking at 500%, right? Let's see. There we go. That's a nice daily, kind of daily approach here. Look at that. There we go. We get to some reasonables here. All right. This is where we're at on the approach from the just the daily, right? Ooh. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. And they are talking about, the big guys right now are talking about, guys, exactly what I'm talking about. Now they've talked about this. Let's see what we have, because they're seeing the huge move in cash right now from from Dogecoin into Dogecoin away from the let's see, and they're gonna cause maybe a problem. Let's see what we have. Yeah, and they're talking about, you guys, the overall risk reward. They're having the right kind of discussions with people right now, because the essentially the risk that you're running on getting into an investment like this, I don't disagree. There's more people losing money than making money. We are in, I'm just going to say it, we are in guys, we're in the minority that can trade into these sequences and these chart patterns. Just understand that we're in the minority that can define a chart pattern. And the fact that we can pull out a bull pennant from here and say, yes, I like this right here, I'm going to trade this right here, that is no problem. That's an easy lunch for me. I want to eat that like yesterday's lunch. That's my favorite saying. I'm going to eat that like yesterday's lunch. That is no problem, right? That is right here. See? So, this becomes very easy to trade this, right? I know my price target. Bam. Very easy. Exactly, huh? This is easy stuff here. Now, can we form another one, huh? Yeah, I guess we can, huh? But just make sure you're in at this at a light level, And it comes a little bit sticky here in terms of how you would form kind of a next, let's see. Would it be something like this that we have to start cutting into, huh? Maybe, something kind of like that. Maybe it wants to make and jettison up, something like that. Yeah, maybe, huh? Maybe something like that. It could, if it wants to. We're having to kind of bite into it a little bit. I don't like that. Okay, so it may extend a little bit more. It may collapse a little bit more. It can do whatever it wants to. It's going to show me what it wants to do. But if it does something like that, and it looks like it's going to break out, what am I going to look at? Well, easily, I'm going to look at this again. Okay, I'm going to look at this again because it doesn't show any signs. The people who are betting against Doge right now heavily, now again, I'm going to lightly play in his favor. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to lightly play in his favor. I'm going to try and pepper up some gains into the kind of my go alpha approach, right? The returns that I'm going to get on top of the standard returns with Dogecoin. It's already doing well. I want to beat those returns. That's what makes it interesting to me. So yeah, this can happen. You know, this can definitely happen. So let's see. Let's see. Yeah, and guys, everyone, let's see. Everyone also, you guys just be updated and be aware. Everyone from CNN, okay, CNN, CNBC, everybody right now is covering Dogecoin. So all the big players on the news desks, everyone involved in the industry, right now they're all discussing Dogecoin. All right, everyone is. They're talking about, you know, all of these issues. You know, Elon Musk is, probably got some cash into it. We know that he's got an interest in it, and I think he has to have it do well because people are revolving around him. That's the one kind of security feature you would assume that he has everyone's best interest in mind. You can't state that though. We're dancing it around at 33. We were at 43. Now, that's dangerous if you got in at 43. There's a lot of people that got in at 43 and they're sitting at 33. That's no good. And on my program trade, if I would have stayed in my program trade, I should get into all the details. I'm not going to discuss that. I didn't lose money or stay even. I'm just going to say that in terms of exactly how I program trade and who I do that with or through, who handles my investments, etc. That's no one's real business. But looking at this, it's like if we want to form another pennant, that's fine. Now, if you had gotten in here, you'd have to cut it real close. I'll tell you this. You had to cut it real close because if you're just sitting there, you got in at the bull pennant, and you're just sitting where it is right now. Well, I can't blame you. You're still up 32%. Okay, if you don't want to day trade it and you don't want to make, okay, this is a big deal. I guess if you don't want to day trade it and you don't want to make, if you don't want to make 72%. This is the difference. You're going to make twice the amount of money. You can relax, and sometimes maybe you need to relax. If you have the stamina, if you can get into it, right? Currently, you made 33%. You may just be like, all right, okay, that's all I got. I can't work these charts anymore. London, I'm tired. I know it's not easy, guys. It's not easy. That's why people have to train for this stuff. It's like boot camp. This is nice. But yeah, if you're looking at okay, fine, you would have made. Let's just assume right here, we went ahead and we did it. We pulled the trigger. We got in, and we're at 60 to 70%. All right, versus what? Well. That's 60% versus, man, this is all I can do. I got to tell you, I had to just wait. Okay, if you have to wait, that's fine. You get into alpha. I'm telling you, how do you get into alpha? Because you crank through, brothers. You crank through and you want that 60%. You work that chart pattern. You watch that chart. You have your limit set out. You put your sale order in. You redefine your Fibonacci's. Okay, you're working this stuff like serious, quick style. You don't have time to sit there. I mean, if you're, there you go. Bam, you're already in with your levels. Okay, you're already in with all the goods. Okay, you're already in with all the goods at the different levels. You know your approach. Double, triple down as you get through the different tiered approaches, and bam, you're ready for the next upside. Or you're out. I'll say that. Or you're out. Okay, and this was a good bull pennant because you could just ding, 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 I'm out. Now you can reaccumulate here. That's fine. You can also play the breakout. If you play the breakout the other way with the Fibonacci levels, that allows you to get involved for the next movement if you're pretty sure it's going to go up. That's easy. You put in your orders, your limit orders, etc. You're already designed for the next level up at a very good price. Otherwise, you can play on the upside. Now, I did not do the Fibonacci's with this. I'm going to go ahead and tell you the absolute truth. I didn't do the Fibonacci accumulation level with the double and triple down. I wasn't even looking at getting into it, right? Except what? Well, it showed me this perfect. I mean, it was a perfect bull pennant. I was like, you want me just to pass up on almost a nice vacation, man? I'm not going to pass up on a nice vacation. That's going to be a nice ride, down in here. Nice ride is beautiful. I can't pass that up. So I decided to get in and around here. So now it's kind of got a different character to it. Now it's like, okay, do I want to get back in? Do I want to get heavier into it? What do I want to exactly do? What's my tolerance? So those are the issues. Those are the possibilities. One is playing the upside, no problem. Right as the breakout, we go ahead and get in the upside. That's beautiful. We can do that. If you were kind of lazy and got in here and said, "Well, I just don't care. I'm going to play the ride. I don't have time or the platform to go in and around here." Okay, you played off of one. Now you're up 30%. That's fine. That's a good day. We do that all the time on just different pricing targets. So that's essentially what we've done. If you're just relaxing, it's like, okay, it's time to cash out. Okay. That's fine. If you got in at the breakout of the pennant and like, oh, that's fine. You just want to cash out. I want to take my chips. I want to go home for a minute. I want to go relax. You can do that, or you can keep playing. You can work on that alpha. Okay, that alpha, that return that you're going to reach in excess of the overall market. So let's see what we have. I want to check in with the crew and see what we got going on in the charts. I want to check in with the Twitter. You guys know about the giveaway. Clearly, you know about the giveaway. We got 22 people now retweeting that giveaway. That's exciting. We're building that up. It's receiving some momentum. Hopefully, we'll continue to get that momentum. We got multiple people just all over the map getting into that. We'd like to see that. It's exciting, guys. Thank you for the exposure. That's nice. Shout out to all you guys. It's just loading up the number of people involved, and that's on the Discord. That link is phenomenal. Make sure you guys, the moderators, make sure you share that link to the Discord, and let's get people over there so they can enjoy that Discord and all the all the information that we bring to the table. That's what we do on a consistent basis, and people like that. So let me get back into this chat room on one of my side profiles here. Hit me up. Let me know where you guys are from right now. Let me know. We got some new people in the chat room. Let me know where you're from, where you're streaming in from. We are going over a lot of issues dealing with Dogecoin, with the current kind of the feature setup of the price action. If you're looking at getting in, we're trying to achieve a good price, and we're having a good job in terms of our approach and strategy. And I want to make sure that we can communicate that to you on a good level. So go ahead and let us know where you're from. Let us go ahead and just know where you're from in the chat. That will help us. And if you want to hit us a like button, that will help to get this out to more people. We're working on getting in at a good price for people who want to get in. And now it's still risky, so we're just peppering in a little bit of cash. But we still want to make it a good entry spot, I'll say, a good entry spot. So, that's a good thing. And let's see. What do we got? We got about 93 people just kind of hanging out. Now, there's news all over the place today, from CNN to Market Watch to everything. We understand that that's just a big dynamic in terms of, some people are just interested in Harmony One. Well, today is a good day for us to be interested in Dogecoin. Some people just interested in Bitcoin. Well, we can't please everybody at one time. If you're not involved in the overall market, today is one of those days where you can become somewhat certain that, that the broader indexes, the broader coin market is going to be affected to a degree by other financial concerns, by Dogecoin. Everything is dumping, guys, except Theta that I can see right here. My kind of favorite concerns, Theta and Dogecoin. And Dogecoin looks like it is down now, which is okay. Let it correct a little bit, see what it's going to do. You may want to know my outlook on Dogecoin. I would be surprised at this level. I just said this. I'd be surprised if it doesn't have another triple in it. Okay, I'm going to say that because it has done so much in these guys. Now I don't know when or how, and that's going to be a discussion for the big boys. So in terms of your exposure to it, I just say I would be surprised if it doesn't have a triple left in it. Now that's not that much. Okay, it's at 30 cents. People are really excited about going to $1. That's okay. It's okay, but that's not that much, right? I mean, that's okay, right? I mean, think about it, guys. With your other investments, I mean, it used to represent like a 10 time, 20 time your money, right? I mean, Harmony One that we look at all the time, that's a 20 time your money. People got out with a 20x. So right now you're looking at getting involved. Everyone's so excited about something. I guess maybe it has another triple in it. That's not even really an aggressive look at it. I mean, it's done that as of the last few days. That's kind of a reasonable approach to it. Now, it looks like it's exhibiting a little bit more. I mean, 300%? Guys, that's a few hours of last day, yesterday, right? That's within, I mean, seriously, guys, this is on the kind of uptake right here, but within, a period of within 2 days, it's going up that amount. It's going up since this base, since yesterday, at around this time or whatnot. Yeah, it's going to go up. It's already gone up 300% since. No, it hasn't gone up 300% since yesterday. That's my additional line. That'd be my alpha line. Let's clear this up a little bit. Let me get this over so we can definitely look at exactly what that would encompass. There we go. That's clean enough. Got to be careful about these lines. Doing a lot of analytics. 232%. My fault, 232%. So it hasn't done that. It would be the equivalent, the 232%, if repeated, 232%. Let's just draw that up since I was off a little bit. I apologize about that. 232%. We're going to have to really, really scale in for this. Let's see. 232% is going to be, we just get to the point where we're off the charts, right? 232% is going to be, if we were to repeat that, that's $1.05, guys. So if we were just to repeat kind of a portion there of yesterday, you're going to get to the dollar. That's not a big deal. That's kind of a given based upon the mathematics. Again, I don't know if that'll happen today or if that would happen essentially within a period of months, because this thing likes to wait. So whatever amount you're involved in, if it's not just kind of mess around, have fun cash, kind of peppered in, just have a good time with your investment. That's a good thing. Not when the whole house or car or anything else is riding on it. You don't want like the stress surrounding the investment. But yeah, if it repeated today what it did yesterday, you're looking at $1. All right, that's cool. Now, is it going to stay at $1? I don't know. Do they have it pegged at $1? Maybe. Is it interesting for y'all to play with a little bit of cash on something that's going to go down in history? I mean, it literally is going down in history. It's going to be one of your GameStops. It's going to be one of your major player cards where people are going to say, oh, we made money on that, or oh, we got burned on that. Both are an option at this point. Both are an option to be where people are going to refer back to this. Man, people lost a lot of money on that, or man, people made a lot of money. We made a ton of money on that. Yeah, it's fine. You double or triple your money. I mean, I wouldn't suggest going in heavily. Okay, and maybe that's just the cautious nature of just a different approach. I mean, I don't want anyone to leverage the house or leverage anything. I say in a bull stampede, people can lose their house. Okay, a bull stampede can run over a house. So just be careful about your technique and the levels of exposure you have. And I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just kind of talking to you like a brother would, or somebody who's trying to help the situation out in terms of giving you an advanced insight into some risk dynamics. Let's go ahead and look at Vegas, baby. There you go, Virginia, beautiful state. Let's look at where you guys are from. I love these shout outs. Let's look into some people from Vegas. Like that, eh? We love Vegas, man. Good time. Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to Mark Preston. Shout out. Everybody loves Vegas. Everybody's loving Vegas. We hope they're doing well. Let's see what else we have. Brioni Suits. IB Marone. Hey, you got some taste, brother. What's going on? I like that too. Nothing wrong with the Brioni. They wear well. They're smooth. I like a Giorgio Armani. The Giorgio version, Giorgio Armani tuxedo is nice as well. They can tailor those in about an hour if you need them to, depending on where you're at in the world. Always go to Giorgio Armani for your tuxedos. Let's see what we have here. So that's good. We got a little bit of reaction, a little bit of let's see. Yeah, we go back to these. So not a whole lot of action here. We're just kind of hanging out and kind of understanding. Hey, we got a bet for Georgia. What's going on, Jeffrey? Nice to see you again. I think again, Langlois. That's right. Nice to see you. You guys cheering for different things. The Prague, Czech Republic. Yeah, here's Vinici. What's going on, Eva? Eva, good to have you here from Prague. We're very excited to have you here from Prague. We love this international crowd. Eva, do us a favor. I'm going to bring this up for you. Make sure you go to our Twitter, okay? Go to our Twitter and type in the search box. There's a search icon. Type in the kingdom, okay? THEKING, like king, kingdom, the kingdom, okay? And scroll down to the bottom of the search box and put in go to the kingdom. You'll have to see this, go to the kingdom, all right? Click on that and then you'll see our website here. It's called the Crypto Kingdom with a K, Crypto Kingdom with a K. Click on follow and we'll plug you into all the good stuff here. I always make a point. Same with you, Carolina Vieira. Vieira. That's a nice last name. I like that. Carolina, you do the same. Ili Serrano. Very nice. Los Angeles. Shout out. Legacy in Houston, Texas. Carolina Masak. That's nice with Brazil. Not sure where that is. Bahia, or is that near Rio, or is that towards the south near Argentina? Love Brazil. Beautiful country. Love that. Let's see. We got Houston in the house with Legacy. We got the Czech Republic. We got Beaufort. We got London, UK is in the house. TGX, what's going on? Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. Is the GameStop of crypto. This is controlled by the whales. Not a bad opinion there. Appreciate that. You guys are having a good time in here. Mark, Preston, shout out to you. Shout out to all you guys from around the world. We're kind of learning market techniques. You guys know that. And it's essential that you guys stay plugged in. We stream for a while sometimes because not everyone has the hour or 2 hours to watch the market develop. But this is what it takes, guys, to be involved in the market. This is the kind of notification system, at least, that you need set up to where you can receive some kind of, kind of in our Discord, we go through that. And that's just, guys, it's just a chat room. It's a nice, fancy chat room with a lot of good icons and animations, charts that we get into, different things. That's a distribution network for education, for how we're able to educate ourselves and make use of these, the technologies, or at least the advanced trading platforms or the trading techniques that we're able to deploy. So give me I want to, everybody, like the thumb up. You've already given, you can like the video, that'd be great. We have 87 people in here. I like to get it to 100. That's my clutch phase. If I've gotten 100 people that I've been able to help with anything throughout the day, that's a big goal for me, guys. It would mean a lot to me if you could just hit the thumb if I've helped you with anything, even if it's maybe wasting time away from your from your husband or wife, or who knows, your kids for a minute, just to kind of give you a breather. I'd love you to kind of just push a thumb up. That'd be great to know that I'm making a difference in your lives. And we will do an interesting one now. I'd like to know, interestingly, right now. Now, you have different emojis, right? Yeah, everyone has a different emoji. What I want to do, I'm going to throw in an emoji if I can. I want everyone to do their own emoji. I don't know if we can do maybe the same emojis. I have all different kinds of weird emojis. I've never seen those emojis. Well, I don't know if we can do all of these different emojis. Let's see. I have no idea what these emojis are. These are just different stuff. Anyway, can everyone give me, the hand emoji? The hand emoji with the hand straight up or something like that? The hand up, right? Let's see if we can do that. Can everyone, if you have or are holding, if you're holding Dogecoin, I want you to do, if you can, hand up emoji. I want you to put in the chat box so we know who we're dealing with. I want you to put in this hand emoji, or just put the full palm of the emoji. But if you have and if you're holding a Dogecoin right now, I want you to put your hand up in the chat room like that. I want to know who is holding Dogecoin like that, and that'll give us a kind of an idea in terms of who are we dealing with. Now there we go. All these guys with the different levels. I see different ones in there right now. Everybody's going like the airplane that way. Directing things is the highest value bag. Good for you. Good for you guys who have that. Look at all those hands popping up. There we go. Yeah, and you guys are some sophisticated traders too. You don't mind some technical analysis, and you've got in on Dogecoin. This may be an interesting group because you have the dynamics involved of knowing. Look at all these popping up in the chat rooms, because the technicals involved and you're interested in the good price acquisition. And so, yeah, what a phenomenal crowd. This is the right kind of crowd. Way to go, guys. That is phenomenal. I'd love to see that. Love to see that. Look at all those hands coming up. Hey, what does that tell us? That there are some smart, intelligent people involved in Dogecoin. I know you are, because we're having a very sophisticated discussion, and not everybody is not everyone is attuned to this level of a discussion or appreciates the parameters of kind of what's involved if you're really trying to maximize your gains. And I love that this is the crowd that doesn't just want Dogecoin. That's fine. Everyone wants to get in on the next GameStop, whatever's going on. No, this is the crowd that says, fine, Dogecoin's going to make, this is so great, huh? This is what we're about at the Crypto Kingdom. Okay, Dogecoin's going to make 100%. Fine, we want to make 150. That's just what I love. That's what I love about the group. You guys look at all those hands coming up in the chat. Just enjoy that. That's literally what we're all about. Dogecoin's going to make 100. We want to make 150. We want to make 200. All right. So that's the style. That's the 1-2 punch that we have here in terms of price targets, in terms of the ability to get through and just to see all the guys. It's dynamic. This is trading. This is what we're involved in. And again, Dogecoin, it has a culture to it. That's fine. Shout out to the whole culture. That's cool. It's like going to a different country. You don't like every other country you go to, but they have some good food. They have. You go to another country, like, well, they want to give you some money. No, I don't want any money. I don't like this country. It's like, yeah, you're gonna like. You don't have to like the entire country, the entire routine of a vacation. Like, oh, they're gonna give you money there. Okay, well, we'll take advantage of that. That's one reason to like the country. So I got to get into that in terms of people that just hate Dogecoin if it's going to make you some money or give you some money. Well, all right, fine. If you have to give me some money, I guess I'll go ahead and I'll overlook some other issues in terms of my personal preferences. You're in and around 37 cents. It kind of seems like it's trying to shuffle up a little bit stronger. That's kind of what I feel. That's kind of like the most recent green candle. Again, with this line that we drew, it looks like this candle's coming into formation to where we can start to establish potentially a nice pattern. And what we're looking for right now, I'll tell you what we're looking for, what we want to stay away from. We're on the 1 hour chart right now. The candles that we're looking at, I'm going to eliminate the wicks right now. I don't go heavy on the wicks. I just don't do it, okay? That's aberrant price action. That's someone probably coming in to get big orders in line with the prices that I've established on my fibs. Lower on my fibs, okay? Lower on the cost sheet. And that's a market maker saying, fine, I'm going to go pick those up. I'll go ahead and I'll pick those up. Bam. It may ruin the chart for people who want to stick on these, but I'm going to go ahead and pick up that money. That's a good amount of money. So people, when they start to play on the fibs and they start to play these charts, that's what happens sometimes, and that's why I don't always trade like on the wicks. I'm not into trading on the wicks on a pattern kind of a chart basis, on a pattern formation basis. Not into that. So as we look at this, what we want to generate right now, and I want you guys to know, what we want to generate for the well-being of Dogecoin right now, of the price of Dogecoin and the action of Dogecoin, is we want to see a lateral. Okay, before we increase in price and we achieve a vertical, we want to achieve a lateral. Okay, for especially in you guys who are holding, etc. If you have a small bag or whatever you have, if you have a significant holding, okay, you want to achieve a horizontal. Okay, I'm going to say horizontal, or let's see what we have. Maybe that's an easier word for you guys. Lateral. Okay, lateral is side to side. Okay, lateral is literally horizontal. That's side to side. Okay, vertical. You guys know vertical. That's easy, right? Vertical is up or down, right? Lateral is side to side, right? Yeah. So what we want to see right now is we want to start seeing this price action continue to develop for those of you who are either in it or who are able to already get into it. Okay, we've already had a retracement. You're able to get in this price action if you want to experience the gains. Okay, we want to see a horizontal, or we want to see kind of a lateral movement in the price, a reestablishment of something that we can turn into like something like this. We had a lateral movement in the price. Phenomenal, huh? Very consistent, very steady, very, very even going. It looks like a program trade. The whole thing looks very, very predictable, right? Very predictable. So let's look at that. We want to achieve that because we had a big fallback. We had a big retracement from the peak and the spike of the price action. A lot of people exited here because it was so darn predictable. It's just textbook, guys. A lot of people out. I'm gone. I'm in my 70%. That's a morning. That's a nice morning. Huh? Throw some cash in there. Just extra cash. Just no big deal, you know. And so what we're looking for now, we'd like to see these stack up to the tune where we have, you know, if we start to stack them up, and let's just put them like this. If we start to stack them, let's say we get another candle kind of like that, right? Yeah, okay, let's say we got that candle. Then let's say, I don't know, maybe we got another candle kind of like, this is all just hypothetical, but I'm showing you how this thing can build. Okay, now we have one just kind of like that. It may be like that, okay? Honestly, it could be just like that. Does that bother me? Probably not. Because, you know, let's say we have another candle that goes in and we're going to fill in something kind of like that, all right? As we do that, we're going to be forming some kind of a pattern, all right? And depending upon where we want to take this, it's shown the upside already. As we build patterns to trade into, see what we're going to turn into? Well, now we have a bull flag, if we can turn into a small bull flag. You see, instead of the pennant, wherein we have kind of a triangulated phenomenon in terms of the pricing chart, yeah, now we're going to have something that's going to be kind of, if we can push, all we have to do is push laterally. That's it, guys. We just have to push laterally, okay? We have to push sideways, essentially. We have to buy some time in and around the same price action without a heavy sales event, okay? We don't need anyone to crush this market right now. I think there's a lot of interest. I don't see, we say hopefully that will occur. Hopefully we don't have anyone who wants to really throw a tirade into this system, because there's going to be a lot of people hurt. Okay, a lot of people hurt. That'll be part of the history of it. Either people will have made a lot of money or lost a lot of money. And it becomes very, I'd say, what would you say? It lacks decorum. Yes, it may be profitable for individuals at the top to engage in that type of behavior. They may make a lot of money, but guys, it kind of lacks decorum. and market decorum, and it's kind of like the bandit that got away. And I mean, it's a high gauged, kind of it's not robbery. It's within the confines of the law. You can do it, but it can be illegal if it's orchestrated at a very high level, and that needs to be, especially if it's involved or if it is accompanied by promotions. Okay, promotional kind of an incentive or a motive to promote and thereafter to dump or do something like that. It can be highly illegal. So as we look at this price action, we expect it to stay ordinary because the eyes are on this. It's all over the news. This is not just a normal congressional hearing. These are the types of things that, this makes a difference. So, I don't have a law enforcement background, but I have studied some different things at different schools, and we've all been around long enough. Now, what we have here is kind of an abbreviated position as we look at the next possible formation of something, because we're already coming in line with this. We already have multiple candles here. Okay, we're not dealing with the wicks right now. I don't want to get into the wicks. Just don't want to. But I'm going to kind of deal with it because it gets up to where we went, and I guess essentially where we went. What I would probably do, because it's not part of the actual formation, like this was part of the formation in here on the previous bull pennant, essentially the base of the candle went literally up to the top level here, okay? So here, if the top level of the base of the candles end around here, that's kind of okay. I'm still kind of abbreviated. I like to use the price action to maximize this area in here in terms of the additional upside. So in terms of an ideal pattern formation, I'd really like to kind of use that, but I'm really kind of not going to use that, okay? The reason I'm not going to use it, and this is where people could potentially kind of start to get burned or left behind if you have an exit strategy and you're trying to get in on this next chart pattern and get another, because you just made 70%, okay? On my entry last night, 70% gain to the upside, bam, and it was immediately predictable. All I have to do is take this pattern straight up here, bam, we hit it, okay? Exactly, we hit 70%. That was a completely predictive event. Okay, 100% predictive. I mean, the textbook, just the clinic, put on a clinic for a bull pennant, exactly like that. Very, very easy. A quick 70% in your pocket. That's not hype. That's not anything. That's not pizzazz. That's just the truth. That's easy. That was an easy 70%. We had a good time with that. And again, just because it met the classical definition of a bull pennant. We had the structured base. We had a real clear resistance line with multiple touches, okay, along that resistance line. Then we had a support level that had developed with multiple touches along that, going into a triangulated convergence. And we had a clear outbreak. And as soon as this thing, it jumped out of here and you'll see that on the chart. That's a program trade getting into, and on the line chart we saw it, and it decided to just jump up out of there. When and I saw that increase, that increase in the price. I've watched enough of these, and it was just the nature of and I do that because that's about how it looks. It just immediately just wants to, it flies up out of there, and yep, they just flew it up out of there. I'm jumping on, ba-bam. And so I did that, and that requires a lot of patience, guys. You got to be on it with your materials. Your systems have to be all systems go, ready for launch. You have to get in, and we got the launch at 70%, so that was good. Now we're still sitting at about 30% right now from our entry point. That's nice. That's nice if we just stuck into it. No problem with that. It looks like it's flirting back up again. I said it was kind of gaining steam at around that 33, 34. It's about 36. This has moved from 30 to 33 to 30. Bam. We remember that moment. Like in a matter of 2-3 seconds, okay, it moved from 33 to 30. That should give you pause and caution, guys, okay? Listen to this. The pause and caution is that we literally saw it on the charts move from 33 to 30. Okay, just whoosh, gone. Just wham. And that was the pickup here. They went in. That wasn't necessarily the real exchangeable price, okay, that was widely accepted, okay? But it's an example of how the price can literally decompose immediately on the downside, okay? Once we run out of buyer steam, let's talk about this. Once we run out of buyers, okay, because now all we have is buyers. All we have is all this attention. Everybody's loving this, right? The market maker's like, man, I have so many buyers. There's so many buyers. I can go out. Everybody's trading in their old coins. It must be their old tarnished coins, their other crypto coins, even Bitcoin. People are putting an entire Bitcoin into this. You guys know that, right? They are putting Bitcoins into Dogecoin right now. So yeah, they're really, well, okay, I guess. The market maker must be having a blast, and this is where they're actually involved on a concern like this. It's not a computerized program. No, the market maker at the exchanges, his desk is hot right now. Okay, it's hot. They are deciding. They are looking at what to do. They're gauging this buyer interest. Okay, and it's significant. Okay, it's significant enough. Like, well, we got all these additional buyers. People converting their coins over into Dogecoin. Well, what are we going to do? Well, let's take them out to market. All right, all these people who get in, let's go ahead and take them out to market. Look at all these buyers we have. Look at all these green volume indicators, green candles. That's beautiful, right? Yeah. When, if and when, I'm just going to say if and when, and there will be a threshold tolerance. Fortunately, I'll say people have been discussing this going to $1 for a long time. Maybe fortunate or unfortunate, because that may occur now or it may not occur now. And in terms of your overall exposure to this, I'll just tell you, if you're exposed at a high level, I would not be exposed at a high level with what we just saw in terms of the erosion from 33 cents to 30 cents. Now it corrected. Some volatility is expected. It was an outlier group that was essentially collected up, okay? It was collected up in here that didn't really represent the true nature, okay? I'm just going to tell you, when you look at candlesticks, they can burn you, okay? They can burn you. This was kind of maybe an outlier. Well, the market maker, fine, I'll come back down into that retracement zone. I'll pick these up. Now, what was this? Well, it was probably a sell order from people who did this exact ratio analysis of the previous of this bull pennant, this previous chart formation. Yeah, they said, okay, fine, we want that's our price target, right up in here. Market maker knows that. He's like, okay, on this level, the market maker's involved with the charts. I'd be surprised if they're not. Okay, the traders involved with Binance, etc., all these trade floors that are selling Robinhood, they know what a bull pennant is. They're using the same type of software, guaranteed. They have this up, so they're like, well, price target. We're picking up the price targets. They actually make those determinations when something's this hot. They may not make the determinations when something's kind of a slow roller. Something's just kind of going along. Well, we'll kind of see what it looks like tomorrow. Well, how's it going? Let's have some coffee. Yeah, that's maybe a typical day of the exchange. They get into heated discussion. This is a management protocol here. This is, well, we do have a bull, we have a bull pennant formation on the previous price action from, they're going to get into 11 cents up through the 28 cent level. We have a retracement on into the maximum retracement was 23 cents. We have a breakout in and around the guys, you want to talk about speed that up by 50, add some boiler room technology to it, and some kind of hunt mentality, survival, and some muscle and some force to it, and you're going to talk about an exchange room that is cooking. So don't think Robinhood, it's no big deal, just all on a computer, everything peaceful. No, these guys work hard, guys. They work very hard. You have to understand that these market makers are pushing this right now. It's one of their top concerns, probably, of what they're handling, period. It's one of the most, it's one of the most phenomenal events that's going on right now. So if you're involved in it, congratulations. If you, excuse me, dropped a bottle of water. Pardon me, I'm sorry about that. If you're involved in it, congratulations, okay? And if you are not, or you're thinking about getting involved in it, just be careful, because what I was getting to is once the buyers want to get out of this market, okay, once there is no more, the last love letter has been written in the form of take all my other coins. Okay, once that dynamic has been reached, if there is no floor on this sucker, all right, let's build a 15-story high-rise with an elevator, okay? Let's just do this. Let's put a plan together. Let's just do this, because we all like nice places. What are we going to do with all this money, right? Let's start planning. Yeah, let's start planning. All right, I have an idea. Let's put together a 15-story high-rise, okay? We're going to put it in Manhattan, okay, in the nice part of Manhattan. I want it over by Fifth Avenue, huh? I like the stores there. I like, you got the Ferragamo, the Gucci, all the good stuff, right? I take my girlfriend shopping over there, right? We love that. Go spend a lot of money. Let's do a 15-story high-rise here. All right, let's do that. And I got an idea. Let's not put a floor in it, but let's put an elevator in it. You guys like that idea? Everybody's like, no, sir, I don't like that idea, right? That's the problem with this whole deal. Once you run out of buyers, once your holders are no longer willing to hold, if this whole time we are recruiting, and you have to look at the nature of the psychology that's being built, because, guys, if we are pulling in a bunch of people right now who don't know hill of beans about, or don't have any kind of loyalty, I'll say, they don't have any loyalty towards Dogecoin, okay. They don't have any loyalty. No, they're just getting in it for the trading. They just want to make money from here to there. And they just want to make money from here to wherever. They have no program strategy at all. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's literally us building a 15-story high-rise in Manhattan, putting the elevator in, and then having literally no floor. Okay, you call the floor is going to be the support level. The people who stay in it and love the story and they're going to hold in the collective psychology, okay, fine. Now, it seems like a whole lot of people getting involved in this right now, all over CNN, all over, and it's being marketed like crazy, guys. Everyone is looking to get into this right now. So if you're involved, salute. All right, congratulations. You keep that hand up in the air. You be happy about it. You guys have been around for a while, and I know a lot of you people have been around for a while. For better or worse, I got people involved in it. We were discussing at .007. Okay, 007. Period. That's when it kind of hit the books at the cigar lounge. Everybody's like, well, maybe. Oh, I don't know. All right, well, it looks good now at 007. Okay, it looks good now. Some people have made some money around me, etc. We have a good group that focuses on trading, some advanced options protocols, some big heavy hitters, big dudes, cool dudes. So the accumulation phase. You say, well, that's nice volume. We like to see that. Who's buying right now? And some of you love it. Do this for me. If you're one of the diamond holders and you're going to hold on in through wherever it goes, put a diamond in the chat room. Let's just see this fly out, because I want to see. We got about 100 people in here. That's a good stretch. Okay, we got more than that. I think there's some shadow people watching by shadow. But put a diamond in the control box there. Just put a diamond in there if you're a diamond hand and you're going to hold. And that's literally what you want to do, is a diamond hand. Okay, that's what you've got. And then a diamond hand, guys, that just means that you have ultimate strong hands. No market force at all or any kind of reason or condition can force you to ever sell or get rid of your coins, right? Get rid of your stock. You have diamond hands, the hardest material on earth, right? The hardest material on earth. That's been popularized by Reddit. But I'm not sure that right now we are recruiting these diamond hands, right? I don't know the degree of expectation that will be essentially generated, okay, by these kind of pricing actions. Because right now it started off highly technical. That's an interesting kind of hook, as that would get people involved in it, because this is a classic bull pennant formation. It's very nice bull pennant formation, and clearly we see some diamonds. We see some action going on in the chat room. So there are some true believers like that, and some that are dedicated. And it almost gets to the point you have to be dedicated and convinced beyond profit. Okay, you almost have to be convinced at this level, literally, that this is not just a 70%. And I tell you guys, 70% on a day is phenomenal. I mean, if you can make that throughout the course of a year, etc. I mean, hey, 70% is beautiful. Now, you're probably playing with lighter cash. So it's not like, well, your overall portfolio is going to do differently. But it's kind of, this is the fun and the rush of crypto. This is what's interesting about it. Let me take a look at these chats. Hold on. All right. Looked at some of these diamonds. It seems like a whole bunch of people were throwing up their hands that, yes, they're holders. Now, we're in a room full of technical analysts, right? You guys probably have a financial background. Guarantee you've traded for a while. You were looking at this, you're like, okay, how do we maximize? What do we do? What's our game plan? What's our strategy? And this is like it's like a technical division almost. If we were to put together kind of a technical division, educationally or strategically, this is what it would look like. You guys are very intelligent, or else you wouldn't be paying attention. We're talking about reaccumulation on each phase to maximize and not only get the, let's say the 70%, but also to garner in and get the extra 20%. So we're looking at trying to make the 100% on a, say a 60 to 65% swing, ultimately on the high to high, okay? We're looking at making 100% on it. We want that alpha. We want that increased gain over the traditional market. That's what's important to us, okay? Because anyone can just ride a stock out. Anybody can do that, get in, decent timing, anything else, that's fine. We're going to do well, how we do. I want to outperform the market. That's what entices me. That extra challenge, that extra profitability. That's what I've had success with, okay, in terms of my prior hedge fund ownership. I hired, I'll tell you guys, the top guy from the street, okay, literally the top guy. He worked at First Boston on the bond desk. He had gone to Duke Business School. I went to Duke undergrad. And one of the smartest guys, one of the best track records of trading around, okay, like period. I'm going to say the top guy. I wouldn't have hired anybody else. He was the best. And I bring that up because I have a lot of market savvy and understanding of how things kind of go forward. I can understand where you're at if you're listening to this channel and this stream, and I understand kind of what your inclinations are, kind of maybe your hesitations, and I can understand how you're geared, Okay, I know that you're not standard. It doesn't surprise me. The majority of people aren't the diamond hands. You're the highly technical, and it's a nice dynamic that, and you can understand this. You're intelligent enough to understand this. Everyone is that. It started off here with a beautiful bull pennant. It started off with something that's just highly, beautifully textbook, technical, and that's something that anyone who's been around in the business for a long time can appreciate. So that's the dynamic. It's gotten us hooked into it. We want to continue to see those technicals. We need to continue to see those technicals. So, and I wouldn't say it's a circumstance. Just remember the floor. Remember that high rise with the floor. You think of the biggest high rise in your city. Okay, a multi-level condo story high rise to the top. Those beautiful new skyscrapers they're building up. Imagine having one with no floor. You walk out. Just imagine what it would be like. And I want you to anticipate this. Just think about this for a second. Not in terms of a fear, but it's very difficult to put yourself in a position. Okay, to put yourself in a position before the fact and for you to appreciate the psychology of what it's going to require for you at that moment. If you can imagine in that building going up in the elevator to the top floor and then looking down from the 30th floor and looking down and there being no floor. Not that you're going to fall, not that there's any kind of a circumstance like that, but that rush of what you're going through at that moment, that looking at that and that paralyzed, that fear, that in stagnation, not knowing what to do and not having a recourse or an out, it's not necessarily that you're going to fall. I don't like that example. I'm just looking down at that with no floor. Okay, that essentially, okay, with the dynamics that are being put together, I just tell you, with all the hype and everything else, that is what I want to create for anybody who is in this market at this super level of price appreciation. Okay, I want you to think about things like that. It's not just, oh, it's the next thing on the planet. Everyone's going to get into it and forever it's going to be beautiful. No. I want you to put yourself in those shoes, in that elevator of that building that you're thinking about right now and getting to the top and having no idea until those doors open and there's no floor. And I'm talking about there are no floors, not at all at any level. And you're looking down and it's just, okay, if you can place yourself into that ideology and understand that mindset, that's what I want you to anticipate here. Not in a fearful way, but I want you to realistically look at the fact when you get into these higher price dynamics in and around this area, as this escalates, okay, you have to continually ask yourself, essentially, is there any floor? And do that analysis. And we may run into some issues that will bring up the fact that, well, we actually believe there is a floor here. As we can try and build that floor, see that floor, we may turn into some we may become differently minded, okay? But that analogy for right now, and the more direct that this thing turns to take off in terms of the velocity that it can create, which is the distance traveled vertically over the time period, the higher the velocity of the sucker, I just tell you, the more I'm worried about the floor. All right, this step in here, these steps, I'm not real worried about that. I just got to tell you, I'm not super worried about that, even though it occurred in one day, because it has a nice formation. It has a nice technical formation. It's something that we can grasp. And Dogecoin looked very nice here. That's why I got in right here. And I'm not a big fan. I'm not just going to jump into something overnight. I know enough about the project. I know enough about a bull pennant. I'm not going to miss a bull pennant. That's my deal. I'm not going to miss a bull pennant. That was 70% of the upside. We're still sitting about. It looks like we're kind of working on an increase. Again, we're working back up right now. Okay, we said we anticipated the fact it was gaining some strength. That's how we kind of felt, right? And it's true. Now we're working at about 37 cents. I placed these arrows in here. Okay, that's the kind of price action we need to kind of see right now. Is these arrows in and around kind of this lateral zone. Okay, or this side-to-side zone. We need to build something that gives us some reassurance in terms of a bull, let's say a bull pennant, a bull flag, some sort of bull formation, okay? Some positive action is going to be anticipated, okay? And the more that we get these steps in here, the more that we can get kind of this rationale going that we have we have a staircase. We have something in terms of an overall principle to look at in terms of maybe it'll give us an idea and an approach to the floors. We can build the floors later. Let's work on some reasonable construction right now. And that's what we're kind of getting. So if you guys have any questions, to load up the chat room with that. If you guys are not aware, our Twitter, I always bring this up just because I want you to know about it. And we do have maybe one or two new little guys to tweet. We have some people. Let's see. People are digging around. We have whatever we have in here. That's right. Good call. Geo World pulled it up. Yeah, good job, brother. If you don't call it like Elon Musk would, and I'll tell you, that was a big problem with me in the very beginning. That's a great job. Someone pulled that up. Why? Because I had a problem with this in the beginning because Elon Musk told everybody to hold. Do you guys remember that in February? They were like, yeah. What happened? Well, Elon Musk told everybody to hold, and what did everybody do? They all dumped out, right? Or who dumped out? Or will we ever know who dumped out or why they dumped out? Because that thing went from 8 cents on down to nothing, right? It collapsed to 50% of the value, right? So I'll say this. Ideally, for your approach right now, if you can swing it. Now, I've already swung it, okay? Now, I swung it from last night. That's nice, okay? I've already essentially swung it, and with a reentry strategy, etc., it swings this way, okay? What I'm looking at is the possibility, and everyone's going to be looking at this. You know this, right, everyone? Yes, so it's going to require some additional funds, and I think they're going to find a way to attract it. But the possibility that everyone would be able to play with excess amounts of cash, okay? My dogs are barking. It's time for me to go jogging. I'm sorry. I've got to go jogging. But I've got to go hit the... We trade so much, sometimes we got to stay healthy. We have to remind ourselves to stay healthy. I hope you guys eat well, you sleep well, you exercise, all that good stuff. That's my call that I need to go jogging. I'll do that in a second. Let me finish up this perfect world scenario for all of my friends around the world, everyone else who's doing well. And I'm talking to every group in here from every single coin that's interested in what's going on right now. Our goal, I'm going to tell you your goal from a security standpoint, and I'll just tell you because we accomplished this last night. If we can accomplish this within the next 24 hours, then I am very excited, guys. I'm very excited. If we can, and this is the following, if somehow we can double your money of whatever, even a light amount, if you can double your money real quickly, and if you can just play with maybe even a portion of that, or if you want to play with that excess stack, all right? If we can double your money, and we take whatever you decided to invest, okay, I'm in this zone right now. So for me, my original stack is over here. So I'm not worried about this. Now, people who want to play with the entire, stack of cards, the whole deck of cards, the house, everything else included, but then you're talking about a different deal. Now, if you're talking about this turns into kind of like a sim game, right? It turns into, well, I've doubled my stack already from here to here, bam. All right, cool. I'm going to put that back there. All right, now I got 2 stacks. I'm going to go ahead and throw in another stack. All right. Now you get to the point, you're going to see what can happen too. I'm going to throw in another stack. Okay, cool. From your management standpoint, you can either let that stack ride, or you can say, well, you know what happened? We had a good day. Yeah, we had another good day. I'm going to throw in, I'm going to put back my other stack. So, and as you can do this, kind of maybe the intelligent way to do this is as this sucker walks up, and now this is going to require potentially a very focused approach to this, because the next stack up, you're going to make it up here. All right, great. If this thing continues to stack, and what are you going to say? Well, I made this other stack. I'm going to put this back here. And however you want to cut and divide, however you want to approach that, but with every single stack that you're able to make, okay? And you'll get into where you'll just cross that out, and you've got something that's kind of, beautiful. And you got your 5X, right? Beautiful. And what you got? Well, you still, now you're out of the market. You got your 5X, however that played out. And you bought and sold at the right times. You program trade with limit orders, and everything's beautiful. You're not standing at the top of this. You got all the gains out of it, but you're not standing at the top of this high rise wondering if there's any floor. Because when the buyers disappear, guys, when the buyers completely disappear, it's over. The show is over. Now, I'll say this, Doge has a very interesting history. It has stayed at a decent level for a long period of time. You guys know that? They've been hanging out for months at the same level. I think they have some, because I know they produce a lot of coins. That was one thing that was always interesting to me, because I know they produce a lot of coins. It's supposed to be inflationary, right? Yeah, it's supposed to be inflationary. That is right. And if it's supposed to be inflationary, that price should have been going down. This was always a key indicator to me. That price should have been kind of going down on the consistent over a period of time as we look at the duration, that time, frequency, duration. The price should have been going down the whole time. It wasn't. It peaked up. It kind of went, it kind of, danced down into a nice gulch. If you guys look at the chart on it, you guys know the history of it, right? And it kind of seemed really steady, didn't it? For something that's producing coins every day. I mean, just printing and minting coins, inflationary. That's one thing that stood out to me. And I'm like, all right, so I know somebody big is involved in this. Somebody big is accumulating these things on a consistent basis. And the normal inflationary rules don't apply for what? I don't think they apply for right now. Now, the person who's accumulating those, there is a possibility, and listen to this, please listen to this, in terms of the overall strategy, even you diamond holders, whoever was holding that line during this previous 2 months, okay, and I'm talking between February, and you guys know the chart well enough, right? In between February and when this thing started to take off recently, January, February, and right now, whoever held that line the whole way, and that's back in the charts, we'll go there in a second, whoever held that line was accumulating all of the newly minted Dogecoin at a low cost. Okay, now what are they going to have the opportunity to do? Well, it's caught fire, right? Yeah, it's caught fire. Someone, is it 5 billion coins a year? So someone has 1 billion extra coins? Okay. How long they've been doing that? I don't know. So they're going to keep doing that through now as the price starts to go in the entire crypto market. I mean, this is a run on the crypto market, guys. I mean, literally, it becomes very interesting because when I talk about no floor, if they've been accumulating this for years and those 5 billion for years, maybe different accounts, etc., right? Big time holders, right? They get it up to, they've been accumulating for a long time at 5 cents, a long time before then. They're going to get up to $1. Whenever their trigger point is, guys, the party is over. The party is over. We can talk about how beautiful it is and how great everything, the currency and all this stuff. If you've been accumulating 5 billion coins a year for the last 10 years in Dogecoin, or 5 years, however long it's been around, and I know some of the story, Billy Marcus, etc., IBM guy, that's all right. If you've been accumulating 5 billion coins, okay, and I know, guys, I understand that well, the big wallet is Robinhood and the other one is such and such. Great, do your research, that's fine. If that's the case, whoever's accumulating that, okay, it's going to turn into the ultimate decision is going to turn into, or the deciding factor is going to be, when do they want to pull the trigger? Okay, that's why I would prefer to stack my earnings on the side. I would anticipate that when that floor is pulled, even if you get caught up and like, well, we lost one. All right, we lost the equivalent of 2 or whatever it is. At least have your original capital back over here. So if you can arrange that with your own trading strategies, I would suggest that instead of being all in like that, you do something to where you're protected on that level. And I'm just kind of stacking those up there. Just to, if the ratio is 4 to 1 and you just left with your original, that's not much fun. You surrendered 4 of them. You kept 1 of them, and like your risk ratio is going to, your risk tolerance is going to dictate this. Because you're going to say, if each one of these is worth $10,000, okay, well, they took 40 and I kept 10. I started with 10. That's no fun. It's not fun. That's why along the way in here, you need to stack one over here. We just stacked one today. Okay, we got a good chart formation. We stacked one. Very good. Now, what are we going to do? We started with 1, now we got 2. All right, so what are we going to do in the next one? Well, I'll play another one. I'll play another hand of the same one if I like the chart pattern. And I'll keep the crowd up, very well informed of whether or not, I like the chart pattern on the next one. I'll go ahead and tell y'all beforehand. I did this one on my own. It was a perfect bull pennant, so I said, oh, fine, I'll get into it. I couldn't pass it up, and I'd already done a 2 or 3 hour stream, and I'm like, I'll get into it. I was keeping my eyes open. So as we look at this current formation in here, I want to see that it's gonna behave itself, and I want to see, and I'm going to be watching it literally down to the wire when the sucker starts to take off, when it gets out of there and escapes. Now the good thing is, if it misbehaves, what? Well, I've already stacked an extra one, right? I cleared an extra one today, right? So I've already stacked one on the side. The goal is going to be to get people to stack things on the side, right? Your original investment, just stack it on the side. You do run the risk, I say, on the upside, if it decides to go ballistically crazy, okay? And that may be something that you want to experience or not, okay? But if it really decides to go through the roof, you may miss out on part of that. But you still have this. That's a higher risk event. At least you're able to stack and stack and stack. If and during this process, it continues to allow people to do that. So, guys, I'm going to sign off because something has gone on with the pool, and it sounds like they're just going nuts. I have to run, get the dogs. You guys be good, and make sure that's not you guys losing your capital at the end of the day. And let me go deal with the dogs. I'm going to go run, and just make sure, it sounds like maybe someone got to them, but make sure we don't go run into a crisis event with your trading scenarios. They're bugging me. I have got to go run. So you guys have a good day. Stay healthy, eat well, enjoy your profits, start to stack, work on your charts. Tune in later, subscribe, turn on notifications.